All right. I'll make sure this camera works correctly. Make sure you got you in the right place. Oh, good. Monitor switched around. That's a good start. There he is. What's up, dude? How are you, man?
Yeah, good, bro. How are you?
Good. You know, just technical difficulties. You know, it's all good.
Oh,
No one even
classic.
noticed. I don't know what you're talking about. All right, man. Man, thanks for coming on, dude. Pleasure to fucking see you, dude. Pleasure to
Yeah,
see
bro.
you.
Thanks for having me too, bro. This is like my first ever podcast too, so this
Yeah,
is
it's
the
mad.
thing.
It's mad. I love it
Would
because,
be my
like,
first to be with someone special.
this is the only, you know how I organize podcasts? I literally just find the people I like talking to and I pick them. That's it. Like
Nice.
the people the people that I like talk to on Twitch, like in their chats, or the people that like are like coming into my channel and hanging out with me, I just literally go through the list of people and I go, who would I like to talk to? And it's like, you've been on that
Nice.
list. You've been on that
That's
list
good
for
to hear,
quite
bro.
some time,
Appreciate
mate.
that.
So yeah, no, I appreciate you coming in. You rated me twice this week, I think. You fucking crazy motherfucker.
Yeah, it was lit. I was getting blessed with some good views, so I thought I'd throw them over, bro.
Oh, no, appreciate that, man. It really means a lot. Um, I found your channel a long time ago. I can't remember how long it was now, but it was a while ago. I believe Toko was the one that introduced me to you.
Yeah, I was about to
Originally.
say Toko showed me you as well, bro. I
Yeah.
remember.
She's the one that was like, "Hey, you should check out this pervy guy." I was like, "Oh, no."
Oh, what a goat! What a goat, T.
I was
If you out
like,
there, we love you.
yeah, it's like, who the fuck is he? And I remember coming into your stream first time, and you were doing these vortexes, mate. And you
Oh
used
God.
the famous what are they called? Like cruiser vortexes.
Yeah,
I tried
yeah.
a few of my own. I
Vortex
didn't
and the
that
Cruiser.
didn't go too well.
Bro, it was like one of those things I just like I'd seen like random videos on TikTok of like just random dudes just destroying massive bottles of stuff. Vortex, I was like, I'm gonna try that.
I'm gonna try that, and you got better at it.
Yeah, unfortunately, the first time I did it, bro, it was on stream and it like spat all over the wall, bro. It was like on the laptop. I had to like stop stream for 10 minutes, dry it up.
That's
That's
fucked,
crazy.
bro. That's hilarious, bro. All right. Well, for those people in the community who don't know you, give them a bit of an insight into who Pervy Sage is, what you're all about, where you came from, and why you stream and stuff. Give us the low.
True that. Okay. Well, I think I started streaming maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, and I actually wasn't playing anything but No Limit Texas Hold'em poker. I was
Nice.
playing maybe like 50 cent to $3 tournaments all day, every day on Twitch, but I had like a 3 to 5 minute delay. So if
Mhm.
anyone from my table had like come into the stream, they couldn't like card snipe me or whatever.
Right. That's awesome, dude.
And so I was doing that for a bit. I was just playing poker, won a few decent tournaments on stream as well.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think the only reason I started streaming was because I seen like some poker streamers. I didn't even know game streaming was a thing at all.
Yeah.
Like at all, bro. And then I came across my first gaming stream. I think it was the Dr. Disrespect, bro.
Oh yeah.
Oh, bro, I can't even remember what he was playing either, but it was amazing.
I still watch
And
it.
like, yeah, legit, bro. I watch him now play some Elden Ring, but just seeing him and like the amount of people in chat was like crazy to me, bro. People were donating like $500 at a time. Oh my God, bro. He's getting like 50. I just thought that that's how every stream was in the gaming world. And then I kind of like forgot about it for years. I stopped like playing poker and shit because it was just getting like frustrating, bro. Like the amount of study that you got to put in to be like a decent like plus EV player in poker
Yeah.
is insane, bro. Like running constant sims, the programs that you have to run the sims off are even like hundreds, thousands sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I forgot about. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was a full tilt poker player. I used to play a lot.
Oh, true, bro. I wish I was back in those days, huh?
Yeah.
The gold rush of poker.
I did. I was playing full tilt poker in high school. Like, so that was like early, mid 2000s. I was playing like that time, like when the computers sucked. You know,
Yeah,
like,
true that. Like WSOP was like in every fucking bar
that's
ever.
what I mean. Yeah, I was playing Full Tilt Poker before it was Full Tilt Poker. It was like I got onto that because I was watching the WPT on TV, and they were advertising it, right? And I used to play casino poker and also circuit poker and stuff. So they were like, it was like, oh, I can play poker from home. Like, oh, it's good practice, right? So I thought, but then I started to get into it. I'm like, this is nothing like live poker, man. This is a totally different animal. Like, online poker and live poker is totally different. It's a totally different game. Like, I can play live poker perfectly every day of the week. But if you put me on fucking online poker, like, I was playing 8 games at a fucking time. And I'm just like, maybe I should, like, cut down on the amount of tables I'm sitting at, like, you know, but I was trying to like bankroll, you know, like, so it was tough. I had some assets frozen during that time too because of all the fucking stuff that was happening.
Yeah, all the BS, bro. That was
dude,
insanity. I actually can't believe that.
It took me 3 years to get the money back because it was frozen by the federal government. Like, no joke.
True that, because everything was like seized
and it wasn't
shit.
$10.
Oh my god!
Like, it was thousands, bro. It's fucking
yeah. Oh my god, that's actually crazy that you were a part of that.
That happened in 2014.
Because I've only ever read about that, bro. I wasn't even in the game back then. I was too young.
Happened in 2014, and I didn't get the money back till 2017. So no inflation on that, by the way.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah. It wasn't even all of it. I think it was partial. But I couldn't remember how much it was. So I was like, I forgot about it. Like, you know,
no
like,
shit.
I was like, I spent like 6 months being annoyed by it. And then I was like, well, I'm not getting it back. So I just came to terms with it. And all of a sudden,
went about your
all of a
life
sudden, a couple of years later, I just a whole bunch of money just turned up in my fucking bank account. And I was like, where the fuck did this come from? Like, if I got someone else's money by accident, and then I went back and I looked at the receipting and it was all came from overseas. So I was like, oh shit. Like, all the assets got unfrozen and sent out to people. Yeah, it was wild, but cool though.
That would have been crazy. I feel like people still lost millions from that site.
Oh, millions, bro. Because they were running a program like that was, you know, basically knocking off a cent at a time on each table. Like, but it turned out it worked out to be like tens of millions of dollars. They wouldn't have noticed. People wouldn't have noticed. But somebody caught on to it. You know, the house was taking too much money. That was the issue. That was skimming the tables. So
imagine the courage it would take to do that on a large scale for that much.
Those kind of people that do those kind of things don't really have many morals to begin with, I don't think. So I don't think they really give a shit.
It just becomes like a disease, bro. They do it a little bit and then it's like, more.
Yeah.
Like spreads.
The casino used to do it when I used to play there, right? They used to take like an hourly chip. So like if you play, so I'd play.
Yeah, the breaker.
They used to take like, it was like $2 or a big blind or whatever, right? Whatever table you were playing at. So I usually play at like a 1-2 or a 2-5 table, and they would take like $4 or something. You know what I mean? And it was like,
yeah, bro. Sometimes a hand and shit.
But if that's $4 an hour, right? And I sit there for like 13 hours, like that is a lot of fucking money. Like that's like half your sit down stack. Like that's, you know, if you're playing a 1-2,
bro.
If you're playing a 1-2 table, you sit down with a minimum of $200. They're taking like $45, you know, per 12-hour play. Like, and you don't need, like, sometimes you have to like play for like 6 hours in order to make a bank. Like, it takes ages to like, you have to go up and down and up and down. Like, sometimes I could rebuy 4 times before I make any money. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so like,
no shit, bro. Sometimes you just run bad. Sometimes,
sometimes I get off the like, I literally, you know, the worst days are when in the first hour of sitting down, you make like $1,000, and then you're like, oh fuck. You're like, do I go home?
Because you're like, no shit. You're like, oh, I don't want to leave.
But then you sit there for another 12 hours and you slowly just watch it leave. It's like, now I feel, because now
you're giving me flashbacks.
This is the thing though. It's like, I think subconsciously you change your style of play when you're ahead.
Yep.
Do you know what I mean? But and then when you're behind, you sort of play like, see, you should be. This is the thing I always play when I play tournament poker. It's different, right? But with cash game poker, if you're behind, you've got to play like you're ahead, right? Yeah, that's the trick. And a lot of people just don't have the confidence to do it. A lot of people are just
I'm not a
like
good
too
cash game
scared.
player, to be honest.
If you're too scared of losing money at the poker table, you shouldn't be sitting there at all. Like if you don't have the money to be there, don't do it. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. That's why like my bankroll management was like I'd usually divide my bankroll by 200, and then that was the maximum I would buy in for the day.
Yeah, just 200 big blinds, right? Like
online's one. Yeah. And I'd always play tournaments. I'd never ever play cash because
we get time.
Deep stack poker was like not really my thing.
Yeah, I'm a big deep stack poker fan. I like that kind of thing. Like I think I like the grind of deep stack poker. I always play like that a lot.
I wasn't disciplined enough.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna play in the Sydney Champs this week, but I haven't gone down because the buy-in's $800, right? So I'm tempted because the first prize is like $250,000, right? So I'm thinking about it, but at the same time I'm like, I don't know, like I don't know if I can like risk the money. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I'm not really working.
I'd buy a stake out of that.
You know what I mean, though? Like, yeah. I'm not really working that much, so like, I'm kind of like, I don't know. It's a bit touch and go. I kind of want to go, and I kind of don't know. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see if I.
True that.
It's on.
But like I said, bro, if you do decide to, I would 100% buy like 10% or something.
Yeah,
that would be fucking lit,
bro. I'm the. You're looking at a wild turkey Grand Slam player right here. Okay. I've been in that tournament like 3-4 times now. I fucking love it.
Get the title, get the belt, boys.
Yeah, man. Anyway, also, hi Britt, welcome in. How are you? Good to see you. And Pit Slayer, thanks for coming in as well, man. I appreciate you. I had a good chat with him on the phone yesterday. Fucking legend. Britt's just finished off with the spicy cough, so she feels better now. But you know, we've all been there. I think
had that as well.
Yeah, I think everybody's had it. I haven't. I don't think I've had it, but I don't know. I could have. Like, I don't know. I think I had it early on, but I don't really like.
Oh, true.
I didn't really get sick for it or anything. I just kind of like. I felt like I was a bit run down, and that was it. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. My brother had it as well, and you know, like a lot of people that I see on a daily basis have had it too. So I don't know. I could have had it.
True that, actually.
No idea, to be honest.
I don't really know anyone that's had it besides me.
Yeah, all the guys that I like work for and stuff, like they
and
all
my
had
daughter,
it.
actually.
Yeah. So I don't know. Oh well, it doesn't really matter anyway. Everyone's gonna get it sometime, so it is what it is. Anyway, besides that, like, why did you start streaming, man? Like, other than the poker thing, like, you know, when you went to the games and stuff, you know, you started playing games. What was it like, the transition to that? Were you always like a gamer, or are you just like someone who likes playing games in general?
Yeah, no. So when I was a kid, I played a lot of games, but I think the last console I had was an Xbox 360 back in the day, bro. And I'd strictly play Naruto games. That was all. Like, I'm wearing a Naruto jumper, I got the Naruto calendar and pops in the back.
Obsessed.
But buddy, that was all I played, bro. And so then I hadn't had a console since I was like 18.
Yeah.
Fast forward, what was I, 27? And then I seen my homie, my sister's boyfriend. My sister's boyfriend was playing Warzone, and I was like, this game looks sick. How do I play it? I was like, how do I play it, boys?
Fucking
and then so that weekend, I bought a PS4, started playing it again, and I was like, oh, I seen on YouTube that the same dude was also watching, I think it was Swag, before he was in phase. It was Swag playing Warzone. And I was like, bro, this is amazing. People stream this game. I was like, I used to stream, bro. I can stream this. And then I just started streaming straight from the PlayStation, bro.
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. You know, bought a camera that week, but I just started going hard. But at the start, I was like, it was the beginning of COVID. And like no one was working. So like literally all I was doing was like 10, 13-hour streams every day, like just playing the Forest and Warzone. And, buddy, I just fell in love with Warzone because I'd never played a shooter before as well, bro. So it was like, the feeling that like playing that game gave me back then was crazy. It was I was actually a bot, bro. I'd open a box and I'd stare at the loot. I'd stare at all the loot for about 2 minutes. I'd be like, oh, I don't know if I want this stuff. And then I'd run off to the next box. I wouldn't even run, bro. I'd like crouch walk over there Oh god.
Bro, this sounds like when so Pit Slayer in the chat, he's my mate from I used to work with him back in the day. Like he was a third year apprentice when I was a first year apprentice. So that was like 14 years ago, right? And so we worked together. Right? Yeah, mechanic, yeah. And we worked together for I think like 3 or 4 years. Anyway, so like we were really good friends and like hanging out and stuff. We used to play Modern Warfare 2 with all the boys. So we'd get all the boys we'd get all the boys together and we'd all play team deathmatch after work. And we had our own clan of all the mechanics from the workshop. And so like we'd all just be getting fucked up and like playing this game really poorly. And like we were all just like so toxic. It was so funny, man. Like you don't understand, like people are like, oh, Warzone is toxic. It's like you didn't play Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer. Like Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer was like the day where you could type in the chat, like you could chat to people with your keyboard or whatever, or you could talk over the death comms on the mic, and it was just pure fucking rage, man. Like it was. Lucky we didn't stream any of that shit, because it would have been like we would have been taken down like so fast, like
immediate bans,
bro.
It's bad enough playing these days lobbies in regular Modern Warfare.
Oh yeah, but like
people go crazy. You say one thing and it's your MFs.
Yeah, your mum this, your mum that, like, you know, it's Aussie stuff, you know, like Aussies always love going with the, you know, your mum joke, you know what I mean? I don't know what that's all about. It's like the first thing they do is attack your mum. It's like, what did my mum do? Like,
because it's the one they love the most.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, oh, your dad this. No, he doesn't care. Like, you know, like just. But yeah, it was funny. Like we used to love that, and we used to just we were just like the rocket launcher kids. Like we were the guys with the riot shields. We were the guys with the stun grenades. Like we were those guys, and we were like we'd take like all of us would all grab a rocket launcher and a riot shield and just run at the same time, and like just like bombard people. Like it was just it was
they're
hilarious,
all stunned,
dude.
wondering what's going on.
They're all stunned. The whole team's doing this, and we're just rockets flying in, and then this whole wall of people with shields coming towards them, just like fucking bang.
Oh my god!
Oh, it was beautiful. It was beautiful. It's like poetry.
You can't shoot them from behind too, because the goddamn riot shield.
That's right.
Titanium.
Yeah, exactly. But it was hilarious. It was a good time. Like, and then when we first started playing Warzone, I started playing with Ragnar and Pity. And a couple of the boys, and like it was just we were so bad, man. We had no idea what was going on. Like the dance was like it was like it was like a child's playground to us. Like we were just running in buildings, jumping off roofs, and seeing if we could land on our feet, and you know, just like just seeing where you could jump down from without dying and shit. Like and then we'd like just spray paint like the walls of a house. Like there's this clip I've got in one of the intro videos of me and Aaron just like spraying each other with love hearts for like 5 minutes. And we're talking about each other, and then Matt's in the background just like, guys, what are you doing? I'm over here, I need your help. I'm like, oh, we're painting each other red. Like,
it's
we'll be there
later, bro. We'll play you back.
Yeah, it's so funny, man. But anyway, it's just silly shit like that, you know. Like, but that's
the best. That's the most fun shit.
That's the thing, though, right? You know, people are always like play games on Twitch, and they're very serious, and they're trying to get shit done, and blah blah. Yeah, if you don't enjoy the game and you're not having a good time with your friends, what's the fucking point? You know what I mean?
That's why I love it when Irish gets on, bro. Like, I'm sure you've seen it when Irish gets on, bro. That man is a maniac.
He's so good.
And it's
man.
like it's always the best to vibe someone while you're gaming, especially in a game like COD, bro. That's becoming like just super frustrating.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a pro player.
Yeah. Everybody has to be the best.
Yep.
Because if you're not the best, you're the worst. You know what I mean?
Oh, actually, bro, that's actually it.
Especially in OCE, man. Like everybody just wants to be better and better and better. That no one wants to be bad at the game. It is, man. But this is the thing too, right? It's toxic because people are very competitive. Like, you know, a lot of the players that I know or I play with or against, and I know a lot of them on Twitch, and most of them They just want to be, the best. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They just want to be the best at the game, so they don't, so they can carry their boys to victory. They can, impress everyone. It might get noticed.
That Twitter feed going.
Yeah, it might get noticed by someone. Put a TikTok together, whatever it might be. You know what I mean? Like, and it happens. Like, look what happened with Ari. He got that. He got that swag video. Like,
Yeah, true. That swag reacted, bro. That's insanity.
That's
I remember
big,
going into
that's
his
big
chat,
leagues, man. That's big leagues.
Yeah.
I was there when Ari started, and he was like, I remember. I think I was like his first raid or something. Like the first person.
Oh no shit!
Like the first person to raid him. Like, and he was just sitting there like streaming to like 3 people. So like it's crazy that way. Like, and now look at him. He's got like 150 people in the stream. So like he's killing it.
Yeah. It's like minimum 20 whenever I go past him. I'm like, he used to be bottom of the list. Like,
bro, his followers like tripled.
Kills everyone.
His followers tripled after that video, so he's killing it.
He's nasty as hell, though, bro.
He's a great player. He's a great player. But if he's the top of the OCE, right? Which I think he probably is. If he's the top of OCE, then and he sets the toxicity level to 100. You know what I mean? It's not really a very good like example set, but I understand he's trying to be the best, and I get what he's trying to do. Like he teabags kids so they come back and. All that kind of shit. I get
what look at the best at everything else as well. They're all like, psh,
I get it.
Crazy, taking shots.
But yeah, I this like if you ever read the Twitter feed for OCE lobbies and stuff, it's fucking just, it's gross. It's fucking
they all
gross.
just hate each other. They all want to expose each other, and
it's like, why can't we just all play games? Like, I don't understand.
I get it. Like, I'm new to it and stuff, and like I'm not that great. That's why I try not to be seen too much by them.
Well, you're lucky, man. You're still not on that PC lobby fucking bullshit that I'm on. So like,
when I first started, it took me like a month to get a kill. So my KD is horrible.
Yeah, that's good.
Still, I can't rescue it. I ain't never rescuing it.
Keep it like that.
Keeping me in the lobbies.
Keep it like that. I wish my KD was under 1, so I didn't have to fucking deal with all that shit. Like, if your KD is over 1, you're over the average. That's wild. Like, I think the average is 0.82 or something. So like,
oh, I think I'm beneath that. No shit.
Do you know what I mean? So like that's like 0.82 is like majority of all players is under 0.82. It's like if you go over 1, I think it's like top 10%. So that's,
oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's how fucking full on the game is. Like for the people that play it. So
that actually does make sense though, because I kind of look at my gameplay and I feel like my KD don't reflect it. You know what I mean?
No, well that's the thing too. Like the other thing that does with skill-based matchmaking and stuff is when you get a win, it puts you in a better lobby. You got to remember that.
Ooh, those post-win lobbies they're not the one, bro. I feel like they're the ones where I drop in, die.
Yeah, it's so brutal. Like if your first game on, it's like, oh, we'll let you have. I think it does it on purpose. It's like, what it reminds me of, and this is a weird way of looking at it. Pokey machines, right? It's like, it reminds me of that sort of situation. Like, so you put money in, okay? So you put $10 in. You're doing like, say you do like $1 hits on $10 because you're feeling lucky. You get $100, right? First 2 spins. And you're just like, fuck yeah. And then the lights are going and the sounds are going off and you're the winner. You know what I mean? You're like, fuck yeah, this is great. I'll play this forever. And then 2 hours later, you're back at 50 cents after being at $100 for like 2 hours, right? And you're just sitting there going, fuck, I should have taken it out $100. But that's what Warzone is, right? That's
100%.
That's what Warzone is. You get that win straight away, and then you go, oh, I really want another win. I really want another win. And you get back
that animation.
and then you come 10th, 6 games in a row. And you're just like, where the fuck did the wins go?
You get thrown in the blender. You're in the fucking...
Can't land on your loadout 6 times in a row and you keep respawning and you're just like, why do I keep playing this game? Like, why can't I just select not to respawn? Like,
those are the games where I'm not even looking at the stream camera, bro. Straight at the game. Like, fuck.
It's gonna look on your face just like, is this really happening? Like, fuck me.
You don't even want to acknowledge to chat what's happening right now.
That's what I mean, man. Like, it's just like that, but... what other games are you into, man? Like, what other games would you play other than Warzone? What are your thoughts on that? Like even earlier games you've played prior, like what was your favorite?
Oh, my favorite series of games ever. It's between two series of games.
Yeah.
One was Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I froth Kingdom Hearts so bad. And then the other one would be Devil May Cry series, bro. That was the first game that I ever like completely finished. It was like early PS2. Oh man, I remember I lived in Dandenong at that time. I was super young. Love that game, bro. Absolutely everything about it.
That's a good game. That's a very good game. Yeah. I really the Kingdom Hearts games were good. They were very good. They were fun. I know that Map is really into them. She loves those games. She played them on stream the first time she streamed. She was really into it. Yeah. They're good games. And they overall like good stories too. Like even though the graphics were like fucking horrendous. Like they were good.
Potato.
Great games though, but like it's like
elbows are sharp as hell and shit.
Oh yeah. There was no what was there was no like graphics source. Like, you know, like it was all just like 64-bit sort of situation. Like, you know, it was just like I'm
surprised that game was as good as it was.
Well, it was, you know, like I remember I was a massive Banjo-Kazooie fan. I love that game.
True that. I never really played too many of those games when I was a kid. Maybe like Ocarina of Time, but that was it on that platform.
Yeah, no, Nintendo. I was a big Nintendo kid. I had the Game Boy and I had the 64 and the Super Nintendo and all that kind of shit. Like I was when I was growing up, I was always playing those ones. So, you know, Mortal Kombat on the Super Nintendo. And
Mortal Kombat was lit. What's it called? There was another game like Mortal Kombat for the 64. It was like, I feel like it was a big game. Killer Instinct.
Oh yeah.
Did you ever play that?
I never played it, but I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, that's crazy. They brought out I'm pretty sure they brought out a new one. Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
they remade it into a PC game. I can't remember what they did about it, but yeah, I'm 100% sure on that. I'll check. I think it's in the Steam store. I'll have to look it up.
It was amazing. It was literally just 2D. Great.
Yeah, but that's the thing, right? What I always say this to people in my community who are younger. When they say, oh, this game, you know, it's a shit game. I said, you should have seen the games that we played when we were kids, right? I said, this is the thing, right? The games that when we played it when we were kids, we thought they were amazing because that's all we knew, right?
Yeah.
And so you give a kid Modern Warfare today and they're like, oh, this is a great game, right? Or it's a shit game or whatever it might be. Then go give them Super Mario and see what happens. You know what I mean? They'll get on there and be like, what the fuck is this garbage, right? They'll be like, this was the best game when I was a kid. And everybody loved it. It was so good. Like, but you didn't, because you didn't know anything.
On buses.
You didn't know any better. Do you know, like, so we all grew up with something, you know, but the kids nowadays are playing this game. But in 20, 30 years' time, kids will look back on that game and be like, what a shit game. You know, like, it's just, everything always gets better. Especially when it comes to
full immersion type shit.
Yeah, they'll be like in the metaverse, you know, gardening on a planet that they own or some shit. Like, I don't know, like some bullshit like that.
Stupid ass painting on the wall.
Yeah,
that for some reason turns into a character.
Yeah, it's like, I don't know, man. It's just like, it's just gonna be shit like that, you know. Like, even games like Doom. Doom was like one of the best games ever made. Like, you know, and it was so simple. It was the most basic of basic games. And like they brought it out on the 64 and it was just like, it's on the 64. Like, you know, now I don't have to play it through DOS. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just like super exciting. But then like they brought out the newest Doom game and it was just fucking next level, man. Like, have you seen Doom Eternal?
I thought that was going a complete different way.
Bro, but this is the thing, right? Like, you started with one game that you became a classic. You're just like, I love this game. I still play Doom original now. I still play Ultimate Doom and all that shit all the time because it's a fucking great game.
I've never played the original Dooms, bro. I've played Doom Eternal, and that's all.
That's what I mean.
But it was the tiniest bit when it came out.
You go back and play the old ones, you'll still like them. This is the thing, because like they were just like. They were scroller games, basically. Like, they were just like, you know, you turn and the map would move with you because it was a square map.
Amazing.
Like, you know, it was just, but it was cool. Like, you know, and then the monsters were fucking insane. Like, you know, the designs at the time. But then I look in, yeah, we play these new games and they're like, fuck, it's come a long way, man, in such a little time.
Like, I can't see this guy's neck veins. What's going on with this game?
Yeah, it's like there's blood everywhere. Like,
relax.
what the fuck, right? Nah, it's good shit though. It's good shit. Like just different. It's just different. So the other thing I want to ask you too, like, I mean, we touched on the poker thing. I didn't even know you played poker, by the way. So that's cool, like, little insight. So I always learn new things about people when I talk to them. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just something, right?
That's the best thing, bro. Discovery.
That's it. I love that. I love that. The other thing I want to ask you is about your music taste. Now, you know me, and I love heavy metal. And we've had this conversation on your stream and stuff, and I'm like, play this song, or you're like, play this song, and it's just like we're like giving each other music all the time, which I think is really cool. Because I just love that kind of stuff. I know you used to play the drums, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me how you got into music. How did you get into drums? How did you get into like metal and stuff? Where did it all start for you when it comes to music?
Oh.
We're digging deep.
I think I was in like year 9. Like my best friend had just moved back to Samoa, so I'd stopped hanging out with like all my other friends.
Yeah,
and then just made one new friend, and he was kind of into metal.
Yeah,
and Guitar Hero 3 had just come out. I don't know why I remember that.
So perfect.
But Guitar Hero 3 had just come out, and I was like, bro, these songs are sick. And I was so obsessed with Guitar Hero, bro. Within the month I was playing everything on expert, bro. I fucking loved that game.
So good.
And then I just fell in love with some of the songs on there, like Raining Blood.
Yeah.
And some of the other random metal songs that weren't quite as heavy as what I listen to now. But like I just started listening to that, like listening to those songs solely, and then I was like, let's see if this band's got other cool songs.
Yeah.
And then I had a friend who played guitar a bunch. He was trying to get me to play guitar, so I started playing guitar and I just fell in love with it, bro. He like taught me how to play some Pantera riff, and I was super hooked. I started listening to Pantera a bunch, but I still couldn't do the harsh vocals. Like it was still too much for me. And then one day in year 9, I was actually at school. All my homies did the music class, and I just did it so I could, be in there. And I liked the cool Russian teacher. She was funny as hell. And so, buddy, one of them needed like someone to play drums for some Metallica song. And so I listened to that song all night, tried to like air drum it or whatever. And the next day, I didn't even know what happened, bro. But I just somehow played it on the drums with them. And it fucking was amazing. And I don't know, bro, it just felt crazy. I was like, playing instruments is the one. And then I just started like going all in on drums. I got dad to pay for like some drum lessons, which didn't last very long because the drum teacher left. But I just got obsessed, bro. I was like reading theory stuff all the time. And that just, I think going deeper into drums also made me go way deeper into different types of metal. Yeah. Because I needed to hear more skilled people. Like at one point I was just listening to like Parkway Drive, and I was like, I need more. And then that turned into like Necrophagist and Decapitated.
It never stays like low heavy. You know what I mean? Like you can never be like, because when I started listening to metal, it was like, Linkin Park. It's not even metal, right? So you start listening to Linkin Park, you start listening to Slipknot, you start listening to Metallica, you start listening to all these major bands that like, Slayer and Lamb of God and all this kind of stuff. And you're like, Lamb of God is so heavy, you know what I mean? Like, whereas like now, it's just like heavy rock to me. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, it does feel soft now because it's such like, have you ever heard of Dead Kelly?
No.
They're an Aussie band from Queensland. It's like grindcore. Amazing, bro. They have a 3-part song called The Legend of Borry, which is just like some trucker with an epic mullet, and they animate it in like Big Les style for the film clips. And it's the greatest story ever.
Bro, just stuff like that, man. Like I remember like in high school, I was like always listening because I had my Discman, right? Because I'm old as fuck. Ooh. And like, I had my little Discman on the bus, and I'll be listening to like compilation CDs, and like so like what I would do is on like a Thursday night, you know, you go to the mall on a Thursday night where it was like, you know, late night shopping or whatever.
Yeah.
And like go down to like the music shop and grab a CD. And I buy like one CD a week with like pocket money or whatever. And I was just like, oh, okay, which CD do I want? And I'd be like, oh, I don't know which band I want to listen to. So I'd buy a compilation CD of all the different bands that I sort of knew, but I didn't know much of. And I would just listen to that on like repeat on my Discman. So like I would start, and some of them were like punk rock CDs, and then other ones would be like metal, heavy metal, and then some would be like, you know, metal and then progressive and that kind of stuff.
Nice.
Like it was kind of a combination of all different things because I was like, I want to know what I want to listen to. Like I don't really know. And so like it could be like one day I'd be listening to like Spine Shank and then another day I'd be listening to Stone Sour and I'd be like, I don't know where I'm going with this, but I'm just going to keep venturing through it because like I was in a band in high school. And
nice. What did you play?
I played bass. Nice. And we were like a rock band. It wasn't metal, but it was like a rock band. Yep. And we used to play like Muse and like Chili Peppers.
So you played some spicy
bit of
bass
Metallica,
riffs.
stuff like that. Yeah, it was good shit. Like it was just like solid rock songs like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. And like whatever song that I could get the note for, because I was the singer. And like I was like, so me and my mate would both sing, and like so we'd take it in turns to do different songs depending on our vocal range. And I was always doing the higher notes, and he was doing the lower notes because he couldn't hit the high notes. And like, so I did this rendition of Joker and the Thief.
Nice.
And I hit the Stockdale note, right?
Yeah.
You know, like wanted man, like that fucking high note. And dude, it fucking like by the time I finished that song, I was out of breath, man. Like I just
bro.
I don't know how that guy does it.
The blood in your head.
I don't know how that guy does it. Like it was just like, but I wasn't like you know taught how to sing or anything. My dad's a musician, right? So he was
sick.
He's a singer, songwriter, and he plays every instrument you could possibly imagine. And like,
fucking hell,
he's been in a rock band since the 80s. Like he's still in the same one.
I love that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
that's lit.
So like he's been doing that shit forever.
That.
And so I kind of learned it from him a bit, like when it comes to like the vocal side of things, and like he taught me how to play and stuff. But like most of it, like I couldn't read music for shit. Like so I would just do like tablets of shit on the internet. Like that was the easiest way. It was just my brain worked that way. You know what I mean?
Being introduced to Guitar Pro 5, amazing.
So easy.
Amazing, bro. Like learning songs it just became too easy. It was amazing.
Yeah, it was like, I think mine was, the one I was using was basstabs.com or something. Yeah.
That's the one. Guitartabs.com as well, yeah.
Yeah, they had one for everything, every instrument. And it just made life heaps easier. And
learning to read drums cleanly was super annoying.
I can imagine.
Super annoying.
I can imagine. I mean, like
I couldn't read a sheet view right now. Like I had to keep practicing and memorizing shit.
Yeah, dude, I understand that. I was the same. Like I couldn't read sheet music at all. Even though I did music in like high school, I couldn't. Like I did music early in high school. Like I didn't do it for HSC or anything, but I did like music in like year 9, I think it was. And like they got taught us how to do all that, and I just forgot. Like because I was just not paying attention. Like, do you know what I mean? Like they were teaching us how to read sheet music for like pianos and shit. And I was just like,
full on, bro.
I don't fucking know. Like, you know, I now read it and I'm like, it's just alien scribbles. Like, you know, it's like hieroglyphics or some shit. Like
it was, bro. I remember one of our music exams was our teacher would sit there with a piano like back facing to us.
Yeah.
And she'd play a note and we'd have to write on the sheet of music which note it was, like draw it how it's supposed to look. And we'd have to do that for like 2 minutes, bro. And that was absolute hell. I have no idea how I did it.
Nah, dude. I mean,
absolute hell.
I don't know, like I lost the passion for it a little bit, like when it came to playing music, but I still love listening to it. You know what I mean? Like I still have my bass guitar like here, but I don't use it as much. Like I might pick it up every now and again.
I've definitely lost mine.
Yeah, it's just like unless you do it every day, I reckon it's just not, you know, it's not a viable thing. Do you know what I mean? Like,
I think when I sold my kit, I kind of.
yeah, exactly. And where are you supposed to hold a drum kit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's so fucking hard to put it anywhere.
Legit, bro, it was taking up so much room, and the only time I could play was in between 5:30 and 9.
Yeah.
And like I wasn't allowed to play at those times. Like it was a complete city. And it was like in the garage where everything like everything just left the room and went to the neighbors. Like
That's it. We used to use the school hall to practice. So like on the weekends, because our music teacher used to give us the keys to the school hall, because we were seniors at the time, right? So he was like, yeah, you know, and we were pretty good like blokes. We don't like fucking rat bags that we're gonna fuck everything up. Like he kind of like trusted us to use all the equipment and stuff. So it was like he would give us the keys to the hall and be like, the drum kit's set up already. So we never had to bring a drum kit. So we just bring so the guy who played drums for us, he would just bring extra snares and shit and like an extra kick or two. And then be like, okay, let's do that. And then we just bring our amps and our guitars and we're good to go. Like, so, you know, all the PA and everything was already up, like all the microphones plugged in, lights and shit. Like it was perfect because like, you know, to practice at someone's house, you'd have to drag a fucking drum kit. Do you know what I mean? And it's just,
bro, that was the worst thing. Prac. I hated it.
It'd take 15, 20 minutes just to fucking roll out the leads, man. Like, just like...
Oh, bro, getting the kit everywhere as well. And I didn't have a car back then either.
No.
So it was like one of the boys had to cop that, not me.
Yeah, that's it. And most of us had cars that couldn't fit that shit either. So, like, you know, I remember my first car. There's no way I couldn't even fit I could hardly even fit my guitar in my car. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's rough. It was so bad.
The size of the amps and heads.
Yeah, nah, it's not gonna happen. All right, we'll go and keep talking about the music stuff, right? I need. So we might have spoken about this on a stream or whatever at some point, but I need like a gig experience, right? So like something you went to, say a gig you went to that you remember, like the first thing that comes to your head, the gig that you remember that just like fucking blew your mind. Do you know what I mean?
Bro. Yeah. Okay. So have you ever heard of the band King Parrot?
I know of them. Yeah.
Yeah, they're an Aussie grindcore band, bro.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'd heard of them before, and I heard a song. I was like, oh yeah, I'll listen because it's the Aussie band opening up for this Mexican band that I was actually going to see in the city. They were called Havoc. Epic band, bro. Like one of my favorites ever. And they're straight thrash. So I went to go see them, but this grindcore Aussie band was opening up for them. I was like, fuck it. I was like at the front of the pit. Like if they wanted to do a circle pit, bro, I was being smashed against the fence, like right there, bro. And I think that was actually my first big gig as well, like ever. Before that was just like cafe gigs. But yeah, so I'm at the front of this place and the lead singer, bro, looks fucking absolutely insane with a shaved bald head, comes out with like the loosest cargo shorts on I've ever seen. Like I can half see his undies, and this man just starts like fucking throwing his water everywhere. He starts like spitting out into the crowd. I was like, bro, this is crazy. And then the songs begun. And I fell in love with them, bro. It was like just how crazy this dude was going and how like into it the band was. Like everyone was losing their minds, bro. The barricade left. Half the people were up on the stage for most of the thing. It was fucking so crazy, bro. But the dude jumping into the crowd and doing half the set from on the floor in the crowd, that was crazy. And I've loved that band ever since.
That's a beautiful thing, right? I mean, when you get to experience that with a band too, like you get to experience the band. Like you're not just like there to see the show. You're part of the fucking show. You know what I mean? Like that's the coolest thing in the world. Like the smaller gigs are always the best. You know what I mean? Like, it's the big gigs are great. Don't get me wrong. The production value and you know the lights and
like stadium ones.
Oh yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing better, right, than an old pub gig with like one of the big bands in the pub gig, and it's just like 100 and something people just climbing on top of each other, blood, sweat, fucking, you know, bodily fluids everywhere, and it's just like
kids will actually climb each other
That's
as well.
what I mean.
It's
And it's
insane. He's
just
not
like,
lying.
and it becomes like literally like it's like a playground, mate. Like it's just fucking shit everywhere. But it's so good. Like you get a beer thrown at you. Like, you know, who gives a shit though? Like you're having a great time.
You're not leaving with a sore jaw because some little emo kid elbowed the fuck out of you.
Yeah, 100%. You're in the way of someone doing a thrash dance and get cop a boot in the face. Like, you know, all that shit. Like, dude, it's just like, but that's the thing, right? You remember those gigs. You know, you'll always remember those gigs. Like, man, the amount of injuries I've had in gigs is just fucking insane. Like, just...
The neck
so
alone
many.
from headbanging is enough for me, bro.
Dude, the next day, it's just like,
You ain't playing games or nothing, bro. You better pray someone's spoon feeding you water all day or something.
Yeah, 100%, man. And like, that's the sacrifice you're willing to make for the music, but because you just enjoy it so much. I love that, eh? I love that. Like, you know, it's, so what was the, did you have any like major injuries, like anything crazy?
I've actually never been like injured really ever, besides like one headbutt in high school, which like tore me open. I think I've got like a scar here or something, like a mad scar there. And then when I was a kid, I broke my nose. That was it.
Broken nose is pretty common. I've split my nose a few times.
Oh, my shoulder. Oh, bro, this is a bad story. Okay, here it goes.
Oh, bro,
I was like 15, and me and my two homies in the house that I live in right now, about 4 doors down, we're all 15. We made a quarter pipe ramp out front of his house with a long piece of 1 plywood, about 12 bricks, and a log. And so, bro, so I get on my board. I'm like, hell yeah, bro. This is about to be like the next custom DVD, cuz I jump on it. I fucking mount the top straight away of the quarter pipe, and it all just fell beneath me. I got zoomed, and like I landed, like my left elbow was like at my right elbow as well, because it was like that badly dislocated. And I was like screaming. Both of the boys who were with me are laughing their asses off. I can't go home to get help because we're wagging school. So it was like everything just went wrong, bro. My shoulder, like I eventually popped it back in like 20 minutes. But ever since then, bro, I was 15 then. I'm 28 now. I only just got surgery last year because I now have arthritis, and it dislocated after that so many times, at least 5 to 10 times a year. It dislocated so much that the back of the bone is shaved flat. So there's now a bolt through it to hold it there. So no overhead presses for me, bro. Anything up there that's too heavy, it's coming out. I need to lose this arm.
That's fucked, bro. Oh, give me 2 seconds. I'm just going to turn this off.
Yeah, sweet. Let's pour up a drink, huh, chat? My spell is gone. Rest of my soft drink. Thank you.
My washing machine is taking off, bro. It's just like...
I couldn't even hear it, bro. That's actually crazy.
It's going off into the stratosphere right now. Just like, you know how like the end of the wash and it like starts to spin, and it's just like... Boop, just like takes off into the fucking... Like, it's like a rocket ship taking off, man.
Yeah. You think the house is coming down?
Like, oh, someone launched a rocket in my fucking living room. Like, what the fuck is that? No, I get it. Dude, like skating injuries, man. Like, holy shit. I used to inline skate, right? And I used to do inline skate vert. And like, that was like I used to do that when I was younger. It was so much fun, man. I used to love it. But fuck, some of the injuries you caught from that. I was lucky, to be honest. I didn't have anything major, but my knees are fucked. Like, just like, I ended up, you know what it's like, you know how when you're younger, you're like, I want to wear pads. You know, I don't wear a helmet. You know what I mean? Like, just because you're too cool. You're too cool for that shit, right? Bro, by about a year or so into doing it, I started wearing all the stuff because I just got sick of hurting myself all the time, man. Like, I was just like, the amount of jeans I ripped in the fucking middle, like the amount of times I scraped all the skin off my hands, like
no, the skin.
Do you know what I mean? And like the half pipe we had down at the beach was made of tin metal, right? So it wasn't made of wood. It was made of like fucking iron, bro. Like it was, yeah. So like it was a hot day, man. Your wheels melt. Like it was fucked, bro. Like,
imagine slipping onto it. And like having your back
this is what I'm saying. So like, if you fall down the pipe on a fucking 35-degree day, right? You basically just bake all your skin. Like it just
that's a tray right out the oven.
It just fucking comes off. Like it was not nice, but it was like the sacrifice we were willing to make because like the only other half pipe that we had close to us was like 25, 30 minutes away. And like none of us drove. So it was like, we have to catch a bus. So it was just like, and you know how bus drivers are with people with skates and shit. They're like, take your shoes off and fucking, have a fucking cry at you and stuff. It's like,
full of wheels up.
Yeah. Wheels up. Don't fucking ride on the bus. It's like, well, they're our shoes, mate. Like, what the fuck do you want to do? But yeah, it's just shit like that. So like, I mean, if we go into the city, like we go into the city and skate and stuff, and we just get fucking in trouble. Just like, we did Martin Place stairs and shit. Like, used to do that all the time.
Oh my God.
Like, we'll like try and do like, like the old like 360 off the fucking Martin Place stairs. That was heaps fun.
Wait, was that massive set of stairs?
There's a 21, I think it was.
Bro. Oh my God. My homie snapped his like shin, but I can't even remember what it's called right now.
It's not a nice landing.
Actual snap.
It's not a nice landing.
And it like, it was visible.
Yeah, no, it's not. It's a sharp landing too. So like steep stairs, right? You hit the bottom, and like you got to brace for that impact. Like you're going all the way to your ass, and it hurts. Like it hurts your legs. But if you stick it perfect, it's great. But you got to stop really fast because the other set is coming up. Like the other stair, edge is like 5-6 meters past it. So like once you hit the ground, you've got to like slide stop. So you're too worried about stopping here by hitting the other one. It was tough, but great video. Like it looked good on camera. So
I'm just thinking of how rough it would be to fucking
marble too, right?
On.
So like, it's not nice.
That's like the meaning of slippery. That's like a skater's dream, bro.
Yeah.
Marble. Oh,
it was fun, but it was also very
not when you want
dangerous.
To stop.
We had my mate. He what happened? Like, so we were at one of the malls near my house, and like there was a set of stairs, like 13 stairs, I think it was. There was a rail in the middle. It was a real nice grind rail, right? So like. Yeah. It was steep though, like
so you were on it, bro.
Yeah. And my mate was like,
deep. I was scared.
My mate was like, I'm gonna do that stairs one day. He's like, I'm gonna clear the stairs a few times, but then I'm gonna do the rail. And I was like, okay, I believe you. Like, we'll film it. Like, he was real he was just like, he had the guts for it, man. He would just do it. Like you're like, oh, look, that stairwell, that stairs look good. You know how most people look at it for fucking half an hour and assess it, think about it. He'd just be like, he just fucking go and just do it. He was that guy, right? And so he's always the guy that got injured because he's just too like gunshot, right?
Bro, it's always that one.
So there's these stairs, right? And he's like, I'm gonna 540 those stairs tomorrow. And I was like, nah, bro, you shouldn't do that. He's like, fuck it, I'll do it today. And he just went, right? He did the 540 and then he landed. He hit like at the bottom. He didn't obviously check it properly. At the bottom, there was like a crease in the concrete. Like a gap in the concrete. And his wheel hit the concrete because the 540 come off. He'd land backwards, right? He hit the wheel in the concrete and he fell back and he smashed his head, man. And it was just like, dude, it was disgusting. Like
the velocity of that, bro.
Dude, he was like a 60 kilo dude, right? 60, 70 kilos. And like he smashed his face, he smashed the back of his head, and it just fucking blood everywhere, bro. It was disgusting. Like, he had like blonde hair too, so I was just like,
no, that would have been everywhere.
His head
bro.
was
That's
just
the
like
classic opening of a skater video.
Yeah. And he didn't knock himself out or anything, but he was like, he was not with us. Like he was like,
Nah, not at all, bro.
we called that ambulance and that, and like they had to like put his fucking head back together. It was fucked.
Yeah,
But
fuck.
but after that, you know how people like have injuries and get scared of doing shit. After that, he just wore a helmet all the time. Like it didn't matter what he was doing. Like he was like, I'm wearing a helmet. Like you know what I mean? Like, but it took him breaking his fucking skull in order to wear a helmet. Like you know what I mean? Like
Fucking hell.
that's wild.
But that's all that changed. He was like, fuck it, I'll just wear a helmet. I'll keep
Yeah.
doing crazy shit.
He was the
I
craziest.
love it.
But this is the thing, right? About you read about people who do extreme sports, yeah. Like you think about like someone like Kelly Slater, right? Who's literally doing surfing the biggest waves in the world. The amount of times he's broken bones and shattered this and shattered that. Like Tony Hawk as well. Like he's broken this, broken that, shattered this, shattered that. But you know, they didn't become the best in the world by quitting. You know what I mean? Like they were always just like, as soon as that shit's like semi-healed, they're back on it. Do you know what I mean? Because they just
doing
love
something crazier than what they did to hurt themselves.
Yeah, he's like, I tried doing 900, I broke my fucking collarbone, and then I decided to try it again. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, do you know what I mean? So it takes a certain person to really like thrive in extreme sports. I reckon it's just
yeah, especially at the very, very top, bro. You're like crossing that line between like insanity
bro,
and fucking.
Some of the shit they do is like they make it look easy, but it's not.
Like extreme obsession.
Even like things people like the people that do like the free dive shit.
Oh,
like, do you know what I mean? Like you see people do that, and you're just like, how do you think that might go? Like that could go wrong in so many ways, and they're just like
too many.
They just do it 20 times in a row. Like it's like, no, it's fine, you know.
Oh, bro, I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it.
Yeah. Like, look, what about people that jump off the buildings with their parachutes and shit? Like, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, the base jump stuff? Like, no.
Yeah, I'm terrible with heights as well, bro. At the top of a decent-sized ladder, that's...
Really?
Pervy's legs are shaking, bro.
I wonder why that is. I've always wondered why people have scared of heights. Is it because of the vertigo feeling that gets you scared?
A little bit. It's also like my mind starts to go crazy. See, look, bro, I'm stuttering thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's like I used to not be even able to cross over this bridge that went over a freeway because it was just too high, bro. And I just didn't feel comfortable there. Oh, I hated it. I felt like I had no control when I was on it.
Yeah, because your equilibrium's off. Because when you're high up in the air and you can see below your feet, your balance is off because your equilibrium, like in your brain, is telling you that you're not standing on flat ground. That's why it's like, because it's your brain is tricking you. It's like, so that's why when you stand over an edge, sometimes when people stand over an edge and look down, they fall because they feel because their depth perception's off because they don't realize how high up it is because their brain can't comprehend how high you are. That's what it is.
Oh my God. I've never ever knew that, bro. And I know a lot of weird shit.
No, that's because
crazy.
I rock climbed for years, man. So like when I used to do rock climbing and stuff, we used to do like, you know, lead climbing on like sides of fucking, you know, mountains and shit, like crazy shit. And you just go out.
That's
and you look and you just don't look down, bro. Like you just don't. Like plus the thing is right though with rock climbing is like as long as you're hooked in, you're good. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Like you're the one that anchors yourself. Like you're the one that's responsible for that. You do that properly, you're good to go, right? Whereas like people that free climb freak me the fuck out.
Oh,
like do you know what I mean? Like I see people free climb, and I'm just like, you're a fucking insane person. Like,
yeah,
dude, I will hang off a rope all day. Do you know what I mean? I'll hang off a rope all day over a fucking chasm. I don't give a shit. Like I could sleep on that shit. Like I have no problem with it, right?
How long are those anchors?
Oh yeah, they're like iron anchors. They're like drilled into the walls. Like they're not coming.
Oh,
out.
they get
yeah. They're set into the wall. Yeah. So like a lot of the climbs you can do, like public climbs and shit, are all have set.
Oh, they're already set.
They have set anchors. Yeah.
I thought you were up there with hammer and chisel going at it, bro.
Some people have done that in the past, but like a lot of those lead climbs in the mountains and that, they're all set with anchors. Like people have drilled them into the walls. Yeah.
Oh, amazing! I like
Don't
that.
worry too much. Plus, you always check it before you put your fucking rope in. You're gonna check that it's secure. Like fucking reef on that shit before you do it. Like, you know, because like Generally speaking, though, it's pretty safe. But yeah,
Okay.
it does. I mean, accidents happen too. Nothing's perfect. Accidents happen on work sites all the time. Like they do the same thing. But I've never been scared of heights ever. Like
Ooh,
never had an
bro.
issue
Heights
with
is
it.
one of my big ones. I think that's my biggest one.
Yeah,
My
You would've-
biggest fear, bro. Heights in the ocean.
you would have hated it. You would have hated. I did the Empire State a couple of years ago. That was a floor, the 112th floor. You would have. Yeah, you would have
That's
fucking.
too high.
You would have shit yourself.
Why?
It was beautiful though. You could see the whole
I
of
felt
Manhattan.
the building
man.
would sway.
It doesn't. It doesn't. It's solid. It's a solid building. But like, it is weird though, like being that high up because you kind of like, I feel like I'm in an airplane right now, but I'm not. Like, it's pretty high.
112 floors. How
Yeah.
tall do you reckon each floor is?
Oh,
Like, how high up would that be?
each floor would be like 4 or 5 meters, I guess, if you think about it. It'd be pretty tall. That's very, very
Oh.
high. It's about half a kilometer high.
How close are you to clouds, bro? I'm trying to comprehend this right now, bro. How close are you to clouds right now?
Not that, no, you're not that close. But like, I mean, there is other buildings like that are higher. Obviously, like the building in Abu Dhabi, like with the what's that building called in Abu Dhabi? I can't remember what it's called, but it's like
What,
the
that
highest.
massive hotel?
It's the highest building in the world.
Or like
that one.
someone lives there? Yeah.
Yeah,
I know the
yeah.
one you're talking about.
Yeah, that thing's fucking huge. That thing's like a kilometer or something in the air. Like that thing literally
Yeah,
goes
bro.
through the clouds.
And
If
it
there
looks
was,
weird.
if there was cloud, is there even clouds in Abu Dhabi? Probably fucking not. But I know, yeah, it's fucking hot there, but I know it's pretty tall. But yeah, I mean, like, look, everyone's scared of something, I guess. Open water is one as well, obviously. Open water's not
Yeah,
nice
bro.
one.
Like big bodies of water, that's a big no.
I'm just terrified of sharks, bro.
Yeah.
Like the
Oh,
thing is, right?
all of it.
You know how people say like, "What's your favorite animal?"
Mhm.
It's like my favorite animal is a shark. I think it is the most fucking technically built animal in the history of animals. Like this thing has like 6 senses. Like it can kill something at 60 fucking kilometers an hour. Like it is built. It is literally a giant torpedo with teeth. Like it is just like it is a machine that is built by nature that is better than any fucking submarine. Do you know what I mean? Like it's crazy. Whereas like you think about that kind of thing, right? And nature built that, and apparently they've shrunk. So
What?
like, yeah, well,
That's
look,
not cool, bro.
think about like when with the dinosaurs and that, the megalodons were the big fucking shark back in the day. They were like the size of like small fucking buildings, mate. Like they were huge. Yeah.
Imagine witnessing something like that, bro. I feel like the ecosystem would just look insane. Like
I think you know what it
everything
is.
around would look crazy.
Is that the reason everything was so big and now everything's so small is because the food was there for it. Do you know what I mean? If everything's big, everything has to eat big things, right?
True.
But then
okay.
if everything gets wiped out and it's only the small animals that survived, then they only need small food to eat, right? So there's no
they
big
got.
animals left. So it's like,
Mackerel.
that's what I mean. So like, it's kind of like the theory of evolution. Like everything evolves to be bigger and better. Like Australian animals are all massive, right? And they're all deadly. The reason is because we didn't come here and touch this land for so long. They had all this time to fucking get bigger and bigger and bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, bro, even thinking about that, I've never even thought about that, bro. That's crazy.
It's like terraforming shit, man. Like it's like, because kangaroos got so big because they were able to, because there was nothing to fucking stop them from getting that big. Like crocodiles got that big because they were basically fighting each other, so they had to get bigger. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there's nothing to stop their evolution. Hey?
What else do crocs eat?
Everything, bro. Anything that fucking moves. Like,
Oh my god, I don't like that.
do you know, like if it's meat, it'll eat it. You know how fast a crocodile is, man? They're fucking quick. They run really fast. I was very surprised to notice that. Have you ever seen a crocodile in the wild, bro? Don't go near it, man. It'll run towards you. It fucking freaks me the fuck out. Don't do it.
You've seen a croc in real life, bro.
Have you never been to like North Queensland?
No.
They're fucking everywhere. Northern
thank
Territory is way worse. Northern Territory is like you don't go swimming in Northern Territory. There is that many
Thank
crocodiles.
you for letting me know to never ever go there, bro. Oh my God, that is terrifying.
That's crazy. Like, dude, like everything. The thing is, people like overseas are like, why is everything in Australia out to kill you? It's like, because that's all they've ever known. They've all been killing each other. And now all these humans got here and they're like, what's up? And they're like, the fuck is this?
You look big. I'm hungry.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's like, that's untouched wilderness. That's what it is.
Okay.
You know? It's that Jurassic Park theory.
I feel like we do have a lot of rural area.
Yeah, it's like, dude, there's no one here.
Yeah.
This country is so big and literally no one lives in it.
Yeah, true. That is quite bare.
You think about it, like 27 million people live in this country.
That's all.
That's it. There's 8 million of us in Sydney. You know? So where is all the other people?
No shit,
Like,
what?
So
Who's in the other states?
Not many. So like, you think about like, okay, so let's put this into perspective, right? Australia is the same size as the US, relatively. If you put Australia, you can put Australia into America once, right? Similar situation, right? It's a big country, right? Now, think about that. Now, think about how many people live in LA, right? There's 33 million people in the county of LA.
Oh my God.
Think about
and
that.
How many did you say were in Oz?
27 million in the whole country. That shit's crazy. You know, America has 330 million people.
Oh, now that's people everywhere, bro.
That's fucked, right? I went to America. I've never seen that many fucking lights. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you fly over LA. I flew over LA on the way in, and there was like a sea of fucking housing and lights. And there was like literally not an inch of land that didn't have fucking lights on it. Like, it was crazy.
Classic.
Do you know what I mean? They're literally just ants, just living on top of each other.
Oh my God.
Whereas like, you go to Sydney and it's like, so quiet. You know? I flew in late, and at 11 o'clock at night, there is traffic. Like 11 p.m. at night, there's traffic. Like,
wow, I was about to say, bro, you go into the city even like midnight type shit. There's empty. There's no one.
There's like fucking
maybe a few drunk motherfuckers.
Yeah, there's a few drunk guys walking around and like the police watching them. That's about it.
Like every 20 blocks, and that's all.
Like, it's empty, bro. And that's the thing. Like, but you go to any other city, like this city's fucking dead as it is. But anyway, that's another story. But you know, you go to any other city in the world and it's just packed full of people.
Ooh. You know true? Wait, how many places you been to?
A lot of places.
Oh my God. I've never, actually, I lied. I've been overseas twice.
Yeah? Where to?
Yeah. Once to Fiji for a week.
Mm-hmm.
And the other time was to New Zealand for 2 weeks.
Nice. Do you have family over there or anything? Or?
Yeah. I have a bunch of family in New Zealand that we stayed with.
Nice.
That was actually pretty fucking fun, man. Going there was so good. I went with the kid's mum at the time, and bro, it was so fucking lit.
Because you're part Samoan, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
I read that in your bio. I wouldn't really pick it, but to be honest,
a lot of people think I'm like Greek or European or something.
Yeah, I guess
like, all the time. I remember I used to work at this Caltex. And the owner was Greek, and like his Greek friends would come in and start speaking Greek to me, and they're like, I'm like, hey guy, and they're like, oh, where's your dad? And I was like, fucking at home, I guess, bro. I don't know.
I get that. I used to get that when I used to hang out with my friends. Like I had a lot of Greek and Italian friends, and like my father's family was all Polish. Right. Oh. So like they originated from like the Eastern European sort of area, but like we're like 3 generations of Australians, you know what I mean? So it's like,
okay.
You know, so that like family lineage is like Poland, Russia, Ukraine, that area, right? But like myself, like I've never been over there or done anything there, and like I would be hanging out with my friends who were like Greek and Italian, and my mate his dad would be like, oh, you know, is your dad Italian or is your dad Greek or whatever? I was like, no, he's Australian. And then she's
No,
like,
no.
no, but where are you from?
Aussie
Where are
boy.
you from? It's just like, no, I'm Australian. He's like, no, but where are you
Yeah.
from? It's like, what do you mean? Like, I
Like,
said,
I'm
I
from
don't
here, my
know.
dad's from here, his
Yeah,
dad's
yeah.
from here, shit.
We all fucking live here. Like, what are you talking about? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's like old school style of thinking Australian. You know what I mean? Like, because a lot of
Yeah.
Australians are all from somewhere else. That's
Yeah, I was
just,
about to say legit. It's like you say you're Australian, you're like, oh, but what are you?
that's what I mean. So like, we were the like my age. Like, we were the kids of the first generation of people who moved here. Generally speaking, like when especially like a lot of my friends, their dads moved here. You know what I mean? From another country. And so, but they were born here. So they're like the first generation of Australians. So it's like, then they're like, oh, where's your dad from? You know what I mean? Like that's, they thought
Actually,
it was the same.
true that. True that. So my grandma and grandpa were born in Samoa, but then dad was born in New Zealand, and then they moved over here when dad was like a teenager, and I was the first one born here. That's weird to think of, bro. I've never thought of it like that.
Yeah. You notice that like the more you talk to people and stuff, they're like, oh, my dad moved here from Italy, or my dad moved here from, the Netherlands, or like my, et cetera, et cetera. And it's always somewhere different. And that's like Australia is like obviously one of the most multicultural countries in the world for a reason. Like it's because we didn't all start here. We all come from somewhere. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like
legit.
a lot of people like, and it's all within 100 years. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not like, this is only, we've only had a government here for what, like 100 years, literally. So like it was just, originally it was just a whole bunch of convicts offloaded by the Europeans. They're like, oh, send them to that fucking Terra Australis place that we found, a couple of 100 years ago. It's like,
Yeah,
all right.
These poor bastards got die on the way, but fuck it.
Yeah, we'll fucking throw them in there, and if they die, who cares? But then they ended up just settling and making another society, basically. And that's what it started.
Okay, well, that's craziness, bro.
Yeah, that's probably why Australians are so rough.
Ooh. True that, actually.
We're all a bunch of convicts. Didn't understand the mannerisms. I love that though. It's funny. Dude, history is so interesting, but I love history. I think it's great.
It is. It definitely is.
It's one of my favorite topics. Like when I was in high school, I had like 5 units of history. I loved it. I was just a massive fan of history. Yeah.
Oh man, I literally didn't pay attention to anything in school besides Japanese and music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Japanese was one of your really big passions because obviously of like the anime side of things, right?
Yeah, legit. And just everything about like Japanese culture and the language just seemed like amazing, bro. Like badass. All their art seemed crazy. And art, that was another class I hardcore went to.
So that's is that sort of like where all the name came from and where all the other stuff comes from when you're streaming and stuff? Like all that kind of culture?
Yeah, legit. Like Pervy Sage is have you watched anime before?
Not as much. I do watch some, but it's like, the American made bullshit that no one ever really watches.
Yep.
But yeah.
Also, Pervy Sage is a character from the anime Naruto. He's like just this older guy who ends up training Naruto, but he's like a big perv, bro. Like he just like Naruto only meets him because he was like, because fucking Jiraiya is his name, was like sneaking in and like perving in the chicks hot tubs. What do you call it? The hot springs.
Yeah.
The hot springs. And he just calls him Pervy Sage from then on. Fucking, I don't know. I just love that character so much, bro. So that's why I ended up doing the name Pervy Sage. And like, I think half my emotes are like anime shit.
Yeah, I noticed. That's cool,
all of
man.
them, actually.
So, when are you going to Japan?
Oh,
it's a big question. It's got to be done, right?
Bro. I want to go so badly. I feel like I have too much debt on my head right now that I need to just eliminate.
Yeah,
that's like numero uno. That's why I'm like grateful that I can like live cheaper here at my dad's place. I've got like fucking my old bedroom and my sister's bedroom now. I just use one just to sleep in, and then I've set this one up for like gaming and streaming.
Yeah, nice. I mean, perfect way to save money.
Oh, really. 100%, bro. 100%.
Yeah, I could never move back with my parents. I'd fucking go insane.
True.
Yeah, as soon as we moved out of my mom and dad's house, my dad was like, "What can I turn this room into?" Like it was just
shit.
like
that's like not here too much. Me and his partner get along like really well.
Yeah.
And her son's cool. It's like we hang.
Yeah, nice. Very nice.
So it's easy. It's easy. It's not too bad to you.
Okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, like in saying that, I don't want to say anything bad about mum and dad because they're amazing people. But I mean, like they would take me back in a heartbeat if I moved back. But at the same time, yeah, as soon as me and my brother moved out, my dad was like, "This is going to be the study." And this is gonna be something else. This is gonna be a music room.
If you want to come back here, we can blow up a mattress for a few nights.
Yeah, pretty much. This is gonna be the guest bedroom that you're not allowed to sleep in. Just shit like that. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's gonna be me, bro. There's gonna be some epic rooms in there.
yeah, 100%, dude. I would do the same though. Like, you know, kids move out. Fuck yeah, it's time to change everything. You know, more space. You know, but I've always I've always lived by myself, so I've had no problems with that. Like I
don't think I've ever lived alone.
Yeah, I've lived by myself for I don't know how long time, maybe like 10 years. I don't know, long time.
I've always lived with like partners and.
Yeah, I've had one or two partners in the past, but like we didn't live together that long. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't like more than like a year, so.
Oh, true that. I think I lived with the kids and their mum for like 5 years.
Yeah.
6 years? I don't know, 5 years.
Yeah, I don't have any kids, so I don't have to worry about it. But yeah, no, it's kind of weird when you think about it like that, right? Like you're like, literally just like always never thought any different. Do you know what I mean? Like always.
Yeah, like that's the norm for you. That's why it was so like strange to me that like. You've like lived alone for so long because I've never lived alone.
Yeah. See, I remember living with I remember I had a housemate. When I was living in Queensland. Because I lived in Queensland for like 3 years, and just because I was up there for work, and I was working for Audi cars. You know, Audi.
Okay, nice.
Yeah, and cause that's where I did all my master's training stuff, right? And
nice.
I was living with this bloke who I used to go to work with, and dude, 6 months of that shit put my head in. Like I couldn't fucking deal with it. It was just like treading on each other's fucking toes all the time. Like just, you know, I just and like literally we were really good friends, and then after we lived together, we all like hate each other. Like it just, you know what I mean? Like it's just by the end of it, we were like, I'm never gonna talk to you ever again. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was bad, bro. Like it's just mannerisms and shit like that. I mean, like it was just
through that you start to see people's like values and shit like that.
See, I'm a real minimalist. You know what I mean? Like I don't really have a lot of stuff. Like I'm not a person who collects things or, you know, who like gathers furniture and shit like that. Like I like literally half my furniture every time I move house. Like I'll just get rid of things. I never like replace it unless I need it. You know what I mean? Like I'm not.
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of the same.
Like my chat always makes. My chat always makes fun of me because I don't have a couch. So like,
so we need a couch. We could just watch TV in bed, cuz.
Bro, that's what I do. I have my TV is in my bedroom, and like, if I'm not in my bedroom, I'm sitting in this fucking chair. So like, I don't need a couch. But this is the thing, right? It's just like. We were having this conversation in my chat one time, and one of my viewers was like, "Where's your couch?" I was like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "I don't have a couch." It's like, "You don't have a couch?" I was like, well, where do people sit when they come over? Like, I don't have people over. And she's just like, "So what if you have a girl over to watch a movie, and you want to sit on the couch to watch the movie?" I'm like, we don't sit on the couch to watch the movie. Like, you know, like, what are you doing?
In bed, baby.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we're like, whoa to you. Like, you know, like, I don't understand. Like, she was like, you're fucking weird. It's just like, I don't understand the problem. I really don't. Like, it's just a single person's mentality, I guess. Like, just like, I don't get like, I'm not here to entertain the masses, man. I'm just here to fucking live. Like, you know.
Yeah, I don't think anything would be touched besides my bedroom and an area to stream if I lived alone, bro. Legit. Yeah. Maybe like the walls would be covered in shit because I'm a bit of a screamer and I don't want to alarm people at all. But like, that's about it.
Yeah.
Oh,
bro.
yeah. You see stream, bro, I get loud.
Bro, I've had people over before and it was really kind of awkward because no one knew where to stand or sit because there's nowhere to sit.
Yeah, just gotta stand it around.
I got a couple of stools in the kitchen. That's about it. And so, like, you know,
Hey, that's good enough.
people like walk in and they're like, there's like 3 stools and there's 4 people and everyone's just like awkwardly just kind of like,
No one wants to take the first chair.
yeah. It's like, this is why, you know, if you're going to, I don't really have people over because you can just go out. So like, that's so much easier.
Yeah, true that.
No mess.
Yeah, I was about to say, you can just go somewhere. Yeah, you don't have to clean up after them.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that just seems logical to me. So I never have people. It's not like the old school days where parents used to have dinner parties and shit. Do you remember that stuff?
I was about to say, I feel like that happened a lot.
Yeah,
too.
that was like the
and
thing.
I had such a big family. Like, it was just like 50 different Samoan houses I went to every fucking weekend and shit. It was like everyone was there all the time.
That's what I mean.
I guess that was one good thing about like that. There was always people around, and there were so many.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And like my parents were always the people who put on dinner parties like every weekend. Do you know what I mean? Like they would have people over every weekend. Like there'd be a big fucking, you know, they'd eat dinner and they'd have cake and ice cream and shit, and they'd like talk for hours and just drink wine and shit. And me and my brother would be like, oh, can we go to bed now? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
I gotta fuck with that, bro. I dig me some red wine.
Yeah. I just, this thing, I'm not drinking anymore. This is weird, right?
Yeah, true
It's kind of still a bit weird for me, to be honest. Like, you know.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because like I've like, you know, drinking has been such a part of my life for so long. And now that I don't have it, I kind of feel like a little bit lost. Do you know what I mean? Like on a Saturday night, man. My Saturday nights used to consume of me going to the pub, getting fucked up and playing the pokies with my mates. Or watching a live band or you know, going out and doing stuff like that. Now, I don't even leave the house, man. I don't know what to do. I'm like, I feel awkward going to the pub now. Like, you know, it's weird. Like, we went to go to watch the footy, you know what I mean? Like, you go watch the footy and you go have a beer and have a palmy and watch the footy. Now I just kind of sit there awkwardly and watch the footy. I don't know what else to do. I'm kind of just like, I'm still in that stage where it's kind of like I feel uncomfortable with it, but at the same time, it's like. Because I walk into, I can't go to the old places I used to go. So if I walk in there, they start pouring my beer before I even get in there. Do you know what I mean? So I can't. Shit. So I'm like too afraid to go back to the places that I normally go because I'm like, well, I'm not going to be drinking, so it's kind of like really awkward. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no shit.
Because
you don't want to be like kind of like, I don't know, just get into the like, oh, like this is just the place like thing, and then like,
yeah, it's culture, like, and then you're like, yeah, the drinking culture of Australia. You know, it's like,
legit.
It's the thing. Like, if you think about this, right, and this is gonna a lot of people listening as well. By the way, hi Liam, how you going, mate? A lot of people will think. Fair. A lot of people will think, right, how do you do something on a Saturday without drinking? Okay. What do you do?
Bro, there's been too many weekends where I've said, I ain't going to drink. And then I get on COD and the lads jump on COD and your man starts pouring a drink.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because it's just the Friday night vibe in Warzone, bro. Like fucking... Yeah. It's like if the lobbies are going to be this shit, we're going to drink and have some fun at least.
Exactly.
Like, fuck.
But this is the thing, right? It's like the culture of our country is drinking culture. So like go anywhere, do anything, it involves beer. So it's like, this is why it's so difficult to stop drinking, right? And this is why it took me so many years to like actually properly quit drinking because like, bro, I literally like, I was literally drunk most of the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like dependent on that shit. Like it was my like, you know, to stream, I would be half cut every time I streamed. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was legit, bro. You wouldn't even know. You wouldn't fucking know most of the time, right? Unless I got proper lit. You wouldn't know. Yeah. Because if you look back on all my VODs post the start of this year, for instance, there was not one VOD that I didn't have a beer in my hand. Not one. There is not one. And every single podcast prior to like three or four podcasts ago, not one that I didn't have a drink in my hand. Not one. I look through all the VODs and laugh. I'm like, there is not one clip that I don't have a fucking beer next to me. Like right here on this table, just here. And it's just like, and it's wild because I was like, oh my God, how much have I drunk? How much I drink? Now I'm not drinking. I calculated how much I was drinking. I was like, bro, no wonder I felt so ill all the time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
no shit, bro. I feel that. Like, I feel like that became me for a bit as well. It was just like, I made Warzone the thing as well. Like, I made it a thing on streaming stuff. Like,
it's easy though, right, to incorporate drinking into your gaming and your streaming because it's just like a thing that just feathers in because it's like a personality thing, right?
Yeah.
And you think like, I think I'm like, is my stream going to suffer because I'm not drinking now? Like, is it going to take away from that? You know what I mean?
Bro, I used to think that so much as well. And because some of the best streams that I had were like...
just getting fucked up.
Yeah, it was like,
silly,
when we're having shit like that, it was just going insane. And I was like, fuck, well, I need to do that again to like replicate this or like whatever.
Yeah.
And...
see, I mean, there will be a way to adapt, you know, to other things, right? But it's just a weird period right now where I'm like kind of like in the middle. So it's just like, do you know what I mean?
Like,
I feel,
am I missing something?
Yeah. The crazy part is I feel fucking amazing, man. I feel amazing. Like my training has like gotten so much better. You know, like my pumps at the gym are like 4 times better than before. Like, because I've got like, dude, it's just like clean
the better
blood
diet
pumping,
and blood flow would that's what I was about to say. The better diet and blood flows would be like crazy for that.
Like my skin feels amazing, my hair feels amazing, like my whole body, like then my nails are fucking growing properly, like all this shit. Like, you know, this is like all this stuff. Like I hate to say it, but yeah, alcohol at the end of the day, it's fucking poison, right? Like, you know, basically. And like now that I've just like gotten rid of it all, I don't want it now. But at the same time, my life is like changed significantly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Still feel that like some sort of void of some kind.
You do. And it's I don't know, it's just weird. It's weird.
It's such a time consumer as well, like the sensory, so you're holding it. Like
yeah. And just the feeling of
like
having it and then
shit.
drinking it and getting another one. And,
yeah.
You know, the thought of getting up to
I was
go to the
about to
fridge.
say, I feel like the act of actually drinking it as well is
and
like...
you don't realise you're doing it half the time because you're talking so much.
Yeah, legit. And it's just like half the time, like you're like, oh.
But now I go out and I'm like, people are like, what do you want to drink? I was like, I have no idea. I mean, if there's no coffee, man, I don't know what to drink. Like, I don't drink.
When I first stopped drinking,
I don't drink soft drink.
Because I got
That's the thing. Like, I don't drink sugar.
Oh, you don't drink soft drink?
No. So I don't have sugar.
Don't you have no sugar one?
Well,
I like the no sugars.
Yeah, I have the Coke Zero, right? But like, you can only have so many before like you feel ill. Do you know what I mean? Like, so have like maybe 1 or 2, but like after that, it's kind of
just have like 1 or 2 pints. That's nice.
Yeah, and then you like,
I'd always have to get a pint too.
Yeah, because soda water is shit. I hate soda water. It's fucking rubbish, man. Like, you know, unless there's vodka and soda water, you're not drinking it, right? Like, you know, it just seems like...
I think, bro, when I played poker, I actually got super obsessed with drinking, what's that called? San Pellegrino, like...
yeah. Like the carbonated sparkling. Yeah.
Bro, I would drink fucking bottles upon bottles upon bottles of that, bro. Like 2 a day and shit.
That's
and
wild.
I was just drinking that, black coffee and like straight water.
So when I play at the casino, they bring me free coffee. So it's not too bad. Because if I'm sitting at the table, you can just get free coffee from the machines. Do you know what I mean?
I actually go to the casino soon, bro.
Yeah. So like I used to go before COVID, I was going like every second week for like, and I'd play on a weekend because, well, one, I could because there was no work, right? But the weekend was good because you come up against all the drunk blokes.
Yeah.
It was easy. Easy money, dude.
There were some bad ones too. I remember this guy couldn't even sit up straight, kept knocking his chips over, and I was like, dealer, there's no fucking way you're dealing this guy in, bro. I was like, get him away from me. And then he dealt him in, and I fucking get aces, and I'm like, I can't fold this.
Yeah.
And the guy just fucking cold. I was like, oh, this is I was
He's gonna river me here, and he like
these chips right now.
this fucking cunt. Knowing this drunk luck, and he's like, this drunk guy's gonna have like 7-6 or some shit, and he's gonna like call all the way to the river, and he's gonna pull that 10 that he needs, and it's just gonna piss me off. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of thing that, you know,
it's like a long-running one-card flush.
There's like, do you know what it is, right? When you go to the casino, and like for those who don't play poker at the casino, you probably won't relate to this, but there's 3 types of players at the casino on a Saturday night, right? There's the drunk Aussie blokes, right, who literally think they're poker professionals and don't know what the fuck they're doing because they're too drunk to comprehend what to do. So they just like call everything. There's the really rich Asian guys who literally, they have so much money that they literally just call you to see what the cards come up because they can just rebuy straight away because they got the chip in their pocket ready to go. Like, I
was about to say they've got like a $200 chip in their pocket, but they just throw them out.
They got a bag of thousands in there, mate. Like, honestly, like this is ridiculous. And like then there's the other players who like play regular. Right, who are just blokes out there drinking their water and their coffee, who are just trying to make some money, and they're always the ones that get drawn out because they're like they're playing properly and they're trying to play against legit players, and they're just getting shafted by luck or like people who are just gambling, man. I see that all the time.
Gamblers they're losing to.
Because every time I go, I always see the regular guys. You know what I mean? I always see the same people, and then the whole bunch of mix of other people that come in on a Saturday that shouldn't be there.
The rich Asians though, that got me, bro. The amount of times I sit down at a 2-5 and this lad rocks up with a fucking baggie of 500s or some shit, bro, is unbelievable.
Yeah, I'm bankrolling like when I go to the casino and play like 2-5, I'll take like maybe like $1,000. So that's like 2 buy-ins basically to 2-5 because like you can buy in twice with that. Yeah. If I double my money, I stay for another like maybe 5-6 hours because I'm thinking to myself, now I've got my double. I can cover all ins on people with all these chips. You know what I mean? So like it's kind of like you work your way up to being able to afford to make bank, and then
you're free rolling now.
Yeah. So you free roll from like if you make $1,000, you free roll for like 6 hours and see how you go. And if you lose 1,000, you leave. And like, you know, but it's fun regardless, you know. And if you make money, you make money. If you lose some, you lose some. Some weeks I'll go in, I'll make $3,000 or $4,000, and other weeks you walk out and you lose $3,000 or $4,000. So you don't know. But you got to have a limit, right? You just got to.
That's why being plus EV was so important, especially in cash.
Yeah, exactly. So like, take with you what you are ready to lose. Do you know what I mean? And like, don't take any more. Because if you have to, there's nothing worse than going in and playing and then losing your chips within an hour or 2 hours or whatever it is because you've just like had a fucking horrible run, right? Ooh. And then making that walk of shame out to the ATM outside the casino because the ATMs, you can't have the ATMs inside,
under the bathrooms.
Right? Yeah. So you go out under the bathrooms, grab your money, and you come back and you have to go back through security and back in the door. And it's just like, this is so depressing.
Like, I'm back.
It's just like, you know what I mean?
God, I did. You got to come back with food or something, make it look like you just went to grab a eat. Like, no, I got a napkin, bro.
I didn't go back to the ATM, you know, like that's, and that like sometimes that happens, but most of the time, like, you know, if you're consistent enough, you can definitely roll yourself. Like, it's pretty good.
Yeah, you got to be super disciplined as well. I felt like I saw a lot of people that would kind of sit there and like you could see that they couldn't lose that money. Like they got like truly like upset or like mad by like losing this cash. And it's like, fuck, bro,
you shouldn't be here, man.
Like I remember when they changed legislation and it was like, no poker stars, no nothing. You had to use a shifty site to play in Australia. Yeah. And so I was doing that, America's Card Room for a bit. I was doing that for a while. And it just, buddy, I couldn't play the amount of volume I had to. Yeah. You know what I mean?
In order to actually make a living.
I ended up taking out a few thousand and playing live with it. And that's how I learned I cannot play live, bro. It's so much different, bro. The blind structures are terrible because the casinos want to make money and shit like that. They make you play 10-handed sometimes. Yeah. It's like half of these dudes don't give a fuck. And they'll just they'll just go in just to try and get lucky. So that like there was almost no strategy to playing with these people. You literally just had to run hot or play super duper tight, which was impossible with the blinds.
Yeah, so this is
But
the way I played.
people just read me too easy.
Yeah, I have good poker face. So I have I played a lot of circuit poker. So like I played a lot of like club circuit poker for a long time. So like you would play at a different venue every night around your area. So like and
True that.
each game was like 30 to $40 or whatever.
Oh, like APL and shit.
Yeah, APL. Yeah. So
Yeah.
we would do that, and then you'd win your way into a big tournament at the end of the month or whatever, right? So I played so much poker. I was like student champion like 4 years. You know, I play a lot of fucking live poker.
We have to do it.
We have to, right? And like I got trophies and shit sitting all over here, and like from poker and shit.
What a guy!
I love it. And then
I just get the yearly reminder from my posts, like, oh, I did this today. And
the problem for me is that I won my way into all these major tournaments early, and I hadn't had enough experience in the game, and I don't regret going to them. I regret not being old enough to know better. Do you know what I mean? Because like I would have taken so much more advantage of those tournaments if I knew what I knew now.
Oh,
you know what I mean,
bro? And I wouldn't have played those tournaments the way that I played them, bro.
Oh, bro, I was a loose cannon, man, because I was a young bloke. You know, my first major tournament I went to, I was 18. You know, so like I went to Melbourne. I won my way into the Wild Turkey Grand Slam in Melbourne. It was a $1,500 buy-in, and I won my way in for free because I won a $50 state league tournament at, you know, some Western Sydney club somewhere. And I was just like,
nice, that's lit. I love that.
So I won the ticket and I went down, and they paid for flight, but they didn't pay for accommodation. So it was like, cost me like,
you've won a full package, bro. That's
it cost me heaps of money to stay there, but like, you know, I was staying in like some hotel around the corner, and like, but it was like $1,000 for like 5 days or whatever, because it was it was a 5-day tournament, like it was 2 flights, 5 days, and like
fuck.
Well, it was the first prize. The first prize was 78 grand. It was 78 grand plus a ticket to Vegas for the World Series.
Oh,
so like
that's the dream, bro.
You know,
that's the poker dream.
The 10K ticket. Do you know what I mean?
The main event,
bro.
Oh my god.
So like I was dreaming. You know?
Yeah,
and dude, and Hashem was there too. So that was even cooler to see him there. And I was like, fuck, I'm too young for this shit. Like, yeah, that's the one. And like, but I was playing against some really, really good players, and I was too young to know because I was just like not really aware of it. And there was this player that I was playing against who was apparently like an amateur professional player in Melbourne. I don't know who he is, and I couldn't tell you who it was, but anyway, so I was playing against him, and like we had his hand. It was like, I remember the hand because I had pocket kings, and he had ace king, right? And like it was one of those hands. It kind of went. It was like pre-raises, like a lot of pre-flop raises, but no all-ins because it was early tournament time, right? So it was like we had about 12K.
Still deep stacked.
Yeah, we had a 12K, 15K stack in front of us. Like, you know, blinds were still real low, like, you know, 2-4, something like that. And like,
nice.
He was a 3-better, so he 3-bet, and then I 3-bet raised him. And then he called, and then we went to the flop. The flop was a nothing flop. It was like 10-9-7 or some shit. And
bro, I'm trying to think of.
And he bet it would have been like a third of his stack, right? Because he's thinking pot value, so he probably bet the value of the pot, and which was like.
Do you remember where you were?
At
what positions you guys were?
I don't remember. It was blogged though. It was like all like written down and shit. But
yeah.
Anyway, so there's this guy. So when he bet in, he put in, it would have been what, 3.5, something like that. And then I pushed over the top all in, right? Now, it was a really wild fucking thing to do in a tournament that early, right? Because like, what's the fucking point in doing that? Like, you know, because I've then pushed in 15K in chips, right? Which is like 5 times the bet. And the pot is only at a value of 3 and a bit. So I'm literally risking 15K for 6K. Right?
Yeah.
And it was a really dumb fucking thing to do. But at the same time, it threw him completely. Because he was just like, he didn't know what to do, man. He was just staring at me like, and he table talked me for like 3 minutes.
Oh,
right?
I hate those ones.
And it was and the cameras were all turned on us because it was like local, because it's local TV like cameras and shit, like all the whole focus on us. There was a guy already with a microphone standing there, like talking, you know, like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and
the
then
classics.
And then it was like maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes in, he's still talking. I'm taking in everything he's saying, but I'm not actually saying anything to him. I'm looking right at him though, like, you know what I mean? Like, and then I said. At the end of like 2.5, 3 minutes, I said to the dealer, "Can I call time clock?" Right? And like, because he'd just been talking this entire time, trying to talk the hand out, like he was trying to convince himself to call. And so to throw him, because I was like, of course I want him to call because I know I've got the best hand, right? But like, you know, you can't beat kings on a board of that unless he's gone. If he'd hit trips on the flop, he would have called already, right? If
100%.
He's pre-raised. The only hand that he could have pre-raised with is a big pair, and if he had aces, he's already calling, right? So he doesn't have aces and he doesn't have trips, so he must have like ace king or ace queen or ace 10 or whatever it is, like high card, something that he might have a pair maybe with a high card. Now that's all I'm thinking. Right? You're not waiting on a 15K bet with a draw. You know what I mean? Like, you're not doing that. So he's just trying to save face. So I just called time clock, right? Just to throw him. And so the time clock goes on the table, 35-second time clock, whatever it was. And he just
35?
Yeah, it was a weird time. I think it was 35 or 45 seconds. It's usually because usually it would be a minute, but I think it was because the blinds were so low. They were just like,
true that.
Don't worry too much. So he just punches the clock, and the guy's like, "What do you have?" He couldn't figure it out. And I said to him, "I got you beat. I have pocket kings." I said it to him, right? Which kind of player is going to tell someone what cards they have? Because then that would mean that he would fold, right? And you know what he did? He called. Because his ego got the better of him because he'd sat there for so long thinking about it, right?
Yeah.
And he was thrown and he didn't know what to think. So he thought I just bluffed. He thought it was a bluff. Because the bet size was so massive. Because he's like, why would he overbet this pot for this? He's just trying to ego me, right? So this guy, who's a young bloke too, he was like,
nuts or mostly nothing.
That's what I mean. So he called, and I took all his chips, and like this, and
thank God.
Yeah, and because he drew out like it was like nothing at the end, but like it was funny. There wasn't even a scare, man. It was just like fuck all, like, you know. and that's
like
and the guy with the microphone comes over to me. And he says to me, he goes, "Hey, mate," it's like, you know, to talk, because they talk to people after they get knocked out, and then they talk to people who knocked the person out. And he comes to me after, and he said, the guy said to me, he's like, he thought you played that really terribly. And I'm like, well, I'm still sitting here, and he's knocked out, so I guess I played it well. Yeah, smart ass.
People hate hearing
such
that
a smart ass
bro.
18-year-old though. Like I was just like,
he was
cocky.
fuming on the way out, 100.
Bro. He would have like smash something on the way out, bro. Honestly, like, but that's the thing about poker, right? Is like you can make the best calls in the world and feel like a king, but you can also make the worst calls in the world and feel like an absolute dumb cunt. So it's just
it's the great equalizer.
But that's the thing, right? It's just like, look, I nearly finished the day, but I didn't quite get to the end of like, I think it was like the second day or something like that.
No.
Like it was a good run, right? I still made cash because I was top 100 or whatever. So
fuck yeah.
Still made like, I think it was like 2,200, which is not too bad because the prize pool was like $500,000, right? So it was like 2,200 and the first prize 78K. So it was like 2,200 for top 100. And so you got like money back plus half buy. So it's like I still made money, but it was a really great experience. But if I was older, I reckon I would have ran all the way, honestly, because I just had that experience. But this is me being 18,
so young,
1 year in playing circuit poker. Like it was like
having such an epic hand that you remember however many years later as
bro,
well.
I'll never forget that hand, man. I'll never forget it.
Like
it was
riding
wild.
on that high through like a 2-day,
talked about
that much money up top.
I talked about it for months, man. I just talked about it because it was the best hand. It was the best hand I ever played on a big tournament. So I was like, you know, it was just a cool experience. But yeah, I love poker. I wish I had the bankroll to play more often. I really do. 100%. You know, I reckon I could do it for a living if I had the money. I really do.
Oh, I don't think I could do that again for a living. It was like, it got to a point where it was like I was so, I don't know if it was stressed out, but I was like, I felt like I was forcing myself to play a lot because like I just wanted to make more and more or whatever, or like I wanted to not break even for the month. I wanted to like make like mad profit and fucking.
Yeah.
So I was just like forcing myself to play all the time and
Mm.
fucking like at times it got to points where it was like I was neglecting study so I could play more, which
Yeah.
wasn't turning out well. Like people were like passing me up. I was losing hands where I was like, well, how the fuck did he have that? And it's like I kind of go over the hand later. It's like, oh, he definitely should have had that. So
Yeah.
freaking, I just ended up ditching it. I play for fun now. Like I'm still good at it, but it's like there is no way I could do that again. I respect it too much to go back in there and just not give it my all again.
Yeah.
And I wasn't. What do you call it? I wasn't disciplined enough to like stop myself when I was like having a shit day or anything like that. That was the worst.
If I came across a whole bunch of money, I would literally just do it for a living.
Oh, true that.
I'd love it. Mate, between streaming and doing that, man, I'd be fucking living the dream, dude. You know?
Okay, true that. If I could stream it,
That'd be so much fun.
It would be lit.
Obviously, like, you know, it'd be tough, but I mean, it'd be cool though, right? Like, I've always thought about
play tournaments again as
I've
well.
thought about streaming poker, but it's just too hard on Twitch. It's not like, you know, the only thing you can really stream gambling wise is pokies and shit, because it's like you're not playing against someone, you're playing as a house. So it's actually like, there's no, because the stream delay on Twitch is like a hemorrhage to a stream. Like you can't have that.
It fucking absolutely is, bro. I don't know how, like a few of the poker dudes that I still follow, like All In Pav, Aussie dude, bro. I remember I found him when he won a tournament for like 150K or some shit. Like fucking absolute lad. He lives in New Zealand now, so he can like play Poker Stars and shit like that because it's not allowed here.
Yeah.
But it's like it's crazy seeing how many viewers they can have, like with a 5-minute delay and shit. Like that's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy, right? I don't envy them. I don't. I have thought about it, but no, it's just not. I like live poker too much. I can't do online poker anymore. I played a lot of online poker and I just got bored of it. So I just don't.
Oh, true that.
I don't like it. I don't like
the multi-table grind of fucking.
I don't like the variables of it, and I don't like the algorithms and shit. And it's not my thing. Like I like to see the cards. I like to see the players. You know, I like to read people. Like I like to enjoy. I enjoy
the feeling of peeling cards, bro. Is beautiful.
Just the feeling of me flicking chips in my fingers. Like that is the thing. You know, that's the feeling that you get.
I miss it.
I do it. I literally do it even without noticing. Like it's beautiful. Like it's so much fun. And because I'm a fidgeter. I fidget with everything. I can't fucking.
100%, bro. I was always with the fucking chips in my hand, bro. Either shuffling or fucking like I can't remember what the other one was. We like roll the top one.
You roll it across your fingers. Yeah. But like, no, I would like have like 2 stacks in my hand just doing this, shuffling them up and together like that all day.
1,000,000%. Oh, the sound of it was beautiful.
You know,
beautiful.
I started doing it with 2 hands after a while. I learned how to do it with my left hand as well. So I'd be doing it like 4 stacks in front of me, just flicking chips in front of me. And I've been making, you know, during big tournaments when you've got a lot of time to like, sort of sit there a lot, like just throw cards away for blinds and shit. Like you just kind of like, you don't want to play anything massive because you just want to make it to the next level or whatever. And you've got a whole stack of fucking 25s in front of you this high. You just like spend the whole time just like making castles and shit in front of you. Do you know what I mean? Like
bro, playing with the chips was actually, bro, and having a massive deep stack that you've worked on all night, and like some dudes sit down there like eyeing your stack and shit. It's like, yeah, bro, I'm about to take yours too.
Yeah, I played in this one tournament. It's called it was like a state champs. State champs. It was in Newcastle, and I played it. It was like, you know, you have to go to represent your area, and I was representing like North Sydney, and like I went up there and I was playing in this tournament, and the stack it was 25,000 starting stack, and the blind started at like 2550. So it was like it was a big day, right? Like so, like that was like 15-minute blinds or 20-minute blinds or something. So it was like, you know, there wasn't antes until like 6-7 hours in. Like it took ages.
Oh my god!
You know what I mean? But it was so much fun, bro. Because I was actually sitting there, I was just vibing, man. And I'm the kind of person that counts chips. So like
Yeah.
I always know how many chips I have in front of me, always.
Yeah.
So it's like especially like cash games is not too bad because you can kind of just like, I have the hundreds here that I know where my profit is, and this is my playing money, and I'll just use this how I want. But when you're playing tournament poker, you need to make sure you have as many big blinds as humanly possible, and you need to make sure that you're ahead of the blinds. So like, if you're less than 100 big blinds ahead, you're thinking, how do I get 100 big blinds ahead? If you're looking, you're in the low end, you're in the 20 big blind section, you're like, I need a hand to go all in. Like, you know what I mean? You're getting low.
Bro, you have to wait for your chart to shove.
That's what I mean. So like you go, if I'm less than 10 big blinds, I'm getting no equity out of this. So I need to make sure it has to be now. Like it has to be in the next 5-6 hands, you know what I mean? Like you have to go. We have to make a big play.
Motherfuckers fold to me in the button so I can push and steal these blinds real quick.
That's what I mean. So like it's all about positional play when you're low, right? But it's when you got the big stack, it's all about like positional play on the short stack. So like that's the thing I love about poker is like you can think about it differently no matter like even if you're in a different position, but you can also think about it differently on the amount of money you have. So it's like it's a mind game either way because that person's trying to be a little bit more conservative, or this person's trying to be, I read the players because that's half the battle. You know what I mean? Like, and not everyone thinks the same. Not everyone thinks, I have this many chips, I'm good. Not many people think that way. They just think, how do I make more chips? They're not thinking about that.
Yeah, true that. Or a lot of people surprisingly think like, I don't want to lose anymore. How do I do that?
Yeah.
But that's like, I feel like that's one thing where you can be like, oh, this guy can be bullied a bit.
When you start playing like that though, and you get scared of losing chips, that's the easiest way to lose them because you're not playing the hand you should properly because you're just scared.
You're called to the river to sing or some shit and then like fold like, no, I didn't make it.
That's
you hear that so much, no, I didn't hit. I love that one.
Like, okay, I'll just take your money then. Like,
well, thank fucking God.
Thank God you didn't run on me again, you can't. Like, Jesus.
Oh, I've had too many of them, bro. I absolutely hate it. I remember some dude
I just get up and walk away for a bit.
He literally just called me because he had the chips too. He had like fucking some bullshit like fucking 5-3.
Yeah.
He's like, oh no, I'll chip you up, mate. I flip over my kings. The motherfucker flops a straight, bro. I immediately got up and left. It was on the money bubble for fucking 8x buy-in. I was about to lose my mind, bro. And that was the first tournament I played at Crown and probably like one of the very few. After that, I couldn't do it anymore.
Dude, that's so true. But
traveling to the city like every day to play was...
Pain.
I did not like that. Yeah.
Crown is a much better poker room than the Star is, though. The Star poker room is pretty.
I heard Star's pretty. Oh, okay. I heard Star was like pretty lit because we don't get like free drinks and shit at fucking Crown.
The problem with Star is that there's not enough players. So like, there's like you just end up playing against the same people all the time. So you're just moving your money around. It's really not, unless you get like I said, this is why everyone goes and plays on a Saturday because like there's more variety of people, more money to be made.
Get some trunk business and broken up for a bit of fun.
That's what I mean. It's easy money. But like if you play during the week, it's just the same people like pushing money to each other. It's kind of like really boring. And like
half the people know each other and shit.
Yeah. I don't even go there that often and I still know half the people there. You just walk in and it's like, what's up, dude? Nice to see you again. Sit down at the same table, get across from the same person.
Remember my name.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, well, this ruins my opportunity to make money today because this guy knows how I play and I know how he plays, and we're just gonna fucking go tit for tat all day and not make any money. It's just gonna be annoying. So like, I'd rather play against fresh players every day than play against the same people over and over again.
100%.
It keeps it interesting.
It literally does, bro. Oh. But you see those kids rock up with a hoodie and a backpack, and you're like, "Fuck me, don't come sit here.
No,
don't come sit here, please."
This cunt has been like reading, Phil Helmuth's book all day, and he's just ready to make money.
Phil. I love Phil so much, bro. Phil is actually one of my heroes, bro. I've listened to his fucking 28-hour audio book, like autobiography. It's like an audio book. He reads it himself as well and elaborates on some stuff for you.
The first poker book I ever read was Play Poker Like the Pros by Phil Helmuth.
Oh, bro, what a book.
I literally have it on my shelf right here. No joke.
I actually have a $2,000 course still.
Really?
Yeah. It's from this guy, this European dude, bro. He was like the biggest winner of like the past 3 years,
Right.
at the time in tournaments, and he is still on top. It's insane. His name's Ben CB. Fucking and he's just like one of the most epic coaches ever, bro. Like going through him, I think because I had a decent win on stream. I think it was like 1 or 2K or something.
Yeah.
So I bought the course. And then I think about 9 days after the course, I won my first like decent online one, like field wise. I think it was like 10K people, but it was 8K US for first, and fucking snatching that up was spicy, bro. And then I had to rush the final table because I had a basketball game to be at.
Dude, those online tournaments go for ages.
Bro, I was playing it from about 11 in the morning, and our game was at 9 p.m. that night.
That's crazy.
And I had to rush to get to the game.
They take so long, man. This is why the other thing about online poker, right? It's the easiest thing to start a tournament on online poker. You just literally press a button and you're good to go.
Yeah.
And as soon as it loads up, you go. But completing one of those tournaments takes forever. Because you know what? Because you don't know how long it's going to go for. Because even though it's a set amount of people, the rebuys just fucking...
Oh, bro.
The rebuy tournaments go forever. So it's like you buy in
really
say you buy in for $10, right? The first prize is like $1,000. You know, there's like 500 people. You're thinking, okay, this is an interesting thing. The rebuys come in, right? You've still got 500 people or 500 entrants, and it's like 6 hours in. You know
I was
what I mean?
about to say for like the next 5 hours.
Yeah, but the final prize has gone up 3 times as much, right? But the problem is you have to spend another 6 to 10 hours post buy-ins to like just even get to money. And it's just like, understand, like time is money, right? If you earn a certain amount of money an hour, that's you can calculate that easy. If you have to sit somewhere for 14 hours and then you get knocked out prior to making the money, you spent 14 hours doing nothing. You lost $10. Well, fuck me. Like, what a waste of time. Like
at best, you might gain, because I was like a hardcore online grinder. I had
you're playing cash games on the side and stuff, right?
Minimally.
Yeah.
I pick and chose my times and tournaments well, but I had Poker Tracker as well, so it tracked my stats and other people's stats. But I would pick and choose which stats were shown and stuff like that, so I could see people's like fold pre-flop to 3-bet stats, like just weird stats that I had picked because they were like good indicators of what kind of person this was going to be. And I'd always have the like location up. I always had to know where this person was from, because you get like country reads and shit.
That's the only way to read people online, because you can't see their face. You have to read their stats, right? So,
100%.
See, I struggle with that because I'm like, well, how do I know they're not fucking their stats up, like on purpose?
That is true.
So like,
they could take advantage of someone who would have the stats.
Correct. So they think, oh, this person thinks I have a fold percentage of 65% pre-flop, and he's going to keep raising me pre-flop. That means I'm going to make easy money if I have good cards. So like, that's the other thing, right? Like, I don't know. It's a bit dodgy to me. Like, I don't really... I could never quite get used to it. Like, I just, you know, I made money. I made money, but I didn't like make like a lot. Whereas like, because the stakes were so low most of the time. Do you know what I mean? Like, whereas like, you go to the casino to play, and you know how much the stakes are before you get there, and you kind of like you can gauge how much you're going to win and lose. But then like, I don't know, it was just a lot of time spent.
Yeah, I think just for the online, because I was such a grinder, I played like 8 to 12 tables most times, and like I had the stats up, and I'd studied so much, bro. Like running shit through like, did you ever like study ICM final table shit?
Nah,
or like money type shit. That was deep, bro. That and Pio Solver, that was a massive one. So I'd like put in however much. My computer at the time actually wasn't strong enough to run Pyro Solver as well, but it was like a $800 program US dollars, and it was just insane, bro. Like you'd plug in your range that you think that they would think you would have their perceived range, like all the actions up until then, and then it ran the hand millions of times. So you could like see if it was plus EV or not for like
Wow.
each action. Oh, it was insanity, bro. I spent
That's
hours and hours
crazy.
doing that.
Yeah, no, I was always real simple with that kind of stuff. I just look at stack percentages. I was always the kind of person who was like, okay, this person got this many, let's work it out. Let's work out, let's play 10 hands, and in those 10 hands I can sort of get a read on how people are playing, and then from there I'll work that out. Because I have a good memory.
Terrible.
See, this is the thing. Like, this is like people notice it when they come to the Twitch chat and stuff. People come in, and 4 months later they'll come back and they'll be like, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, you followed when we were playing that game, and I remember talking about this." And like, I just remember shit like that. I don't know why. It's just like the way that's how I studied for school and stuff. Like, I read books for studying for school, and I remember the page that I read. Like, I remember the illustration on the page that I read. That's how I remembered what it was, the context of what I was reading. That's how I referred it in my head. So it was like, that's like when I play poker, it was easy to remember things like that. Like, if I play against the same guy like a month or two later and he doesn't remember me, it's brilliant, because like, I'm like, I remember how you played a month or two ago. I mean, it could be irrelevant information, but generally speaking, players who play fairly regularly don't change their style of play very often unless they're playing for big money. You know what I mean? Like short stacks and stuff like that. They're just going to play the same. So it's like,
they're like, no, I'm one of the best, mate. I'm just getting unlucky.
So like that kind of thing always benefited me when I was playing cash games. But like, even coming up against the same people in local tournaments too, like, it was really easy to read people. You know what I mean? Like, you get to know them a bit on the side as well, like, talk to them and stuff. And then when you're at the final table, the same bunch of people over and over again. You know what I mean? It's just like, they kind of, think
who's going to fold to what type of aggression with this many chips.
And it's always a good position thing. Like, so if I sat at a final table in a local game with all a bunch of like old blokes that I know, it depends where I sat. Do you know what I mean? So like, we draw a card to see where you sat at the final table. I was always hoping that I was sitting to like the left of this guy or to the right of this guy or whatever, because I was thinking to myself, I know he's an aggressive player. It's going to be really easy for me to follow him or to like stop him from doing whatever he's going to do. And that'll dictate the rest of the table, because they're all scared of what he's doing. They're not looking at me. Right. So it's like that kind of shit. Like, that was always really helpful during tournament play, like local stuff. That's
I know
easy
which
money
players
maker.
I didn't want to sit next to on the left or right, but like getting like physical reads or anything on people, like I couldn't do it. Yeah. I'd second guess myself too much and think like, oh, he's tricking me.
Nah, I don't think they're smart enough to do that, because they're all half drunk anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Like, it's always people got looser the more beers they had and stuff, so it was like really easy to gauge that shit. Bro, we've been talking for like 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I just fucking noticed. Oh, it's been a fucking pleasure. The only thing I want to touch on before we go, is there anything coming up for you when it comes to like content creation or streaming or whatever that you want to let everyone know about? Like, or you want to direct everyone to something or have a look at something or whatever it is. This is your plug time,
Yeah. I don't think I have like anything like coming up that I'm doing, but I guess my main thing is just like the Twitch and the TikTok, right?
Yeah.
Oh, the Twitch and the Instagram, sorry.
Okay. Well, look, I've put the Twitch link in the bio. So your Twitch link is in the description. If you want to send me through your TikToks or your Insta or whatever you got, and you want me to put it in there, I'll chuck it in there after edit, and I'll add it up for you.
No, sure, bro. Twitch is good as all the links are there. My man. Go.
Well, so all right. Well, when's your next stream, man? When's your next stream? When are you going to stream next?
What day is it today? Not tomorrow, but Monday night.
Monday night? All right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. All right. Well, anyone in the chat who wants to go check out the old man Pervy Sage TV over here. Pleasure, as always. It's been a pleasure. I come into your stream because it's a pleasure to talk to you always, man. And,
same with you, bro. It's always vibes in there.
It's easy. Like, I consider us some good friends now. So it's
100%.
It's easy. It's fun. No, I appreciate you, man. Thank you for doing it. Thank you for sitting down with us for a bit. And look, we'll catch you in your next stream, and we'll see you then.
Hell yeah, baby. Thanks, bro. Thanks for having me on, bro. I appreciate you.
Easy, bro. All right, guys, that's it for episode 29 of the Zilla Patch podcast. We'll see you next week.